Yo, this is busted. This is totally busted. Oh my goodness. This is totally busted. All right. I don't even know. I guess we're live right now. Uh I saw somebody was waiting. And I appreciate you stopping by. I think something with Lawrence unfortunately came up with his family. So we're gonna have to cancel, but I wanted to hop on live and I'm actually having technical difficulties too, but I was able to get myself up on here. If you have any comments, any movie questions you want to ask me, he may come through, but I think it might have been an emergency that he's gonna need to take care of. But I'm here, and if you have any questions about recent movies, I see most of the new stuff that comes out, with some exceptions. But if you have any questions, while one viewer is here, I kind of want to give you the opportunity to ask me movie questions you want to, and I'll do the best I can to field them. But we were going to do our whole big review. We got these big questions about if you could only keep 5 movies this year, what 5 movies would you keep? And the rest of them you're thrown away. What 5 movies would you keep? And then also, if you could delete from existence 5 movies, so they never were created, what 5 movies would those be? And I got inspired by that because I watched Scream 7 recently, which isn't a horrible movie, but that's 2026 though, but I would delete that one and let them try again because ultimately, even though it's not complete garbage in my opinion, it's such a waste of that franchise that I wish it didn't exist and let them run it back and try again or something because it's such a waste. I'd rather it not exist. Um, there was also a third one which we're looking forward to because there are movies we can't see every movie that comes out. I think I looked and found about 110, 120. I didn't see all those, saw about half of them. So which 5 are you most looking forward to seeing over the next 2 or 3 months? So there was that list, and then 2025 for me was actually a pretty good year. Of the, let's say, 60 movies I saw this year, I fairly enjoyed about 2/3 of them. And in particular, I had a lot of, we'd have 10 nominees for each of those categories. Of those 10 nominees, I had 10 more that I could have nominated that were pretty good movies. Something like Predator, Badlands, and oh, it looks like Lawrence actually is going to be able to hop on. So I just got to get him into the stream. So hold on. Let me send it now. All right, let me send them to, I got to send them so copy that. Let's go to, I got to do this. Yeah, as I said, something came up with him. So things are a little difficult for him. It looks like he broke free. He's able to join us here. So let's do that. Boom. So message said, so he should be in shortly. So he should be in shortly. I do also want to mention something else. So that's kind of what we're going to do. I'll talk more about that in a minute once he's here. That being the case, I got to import those files from my little thing here. Let's go ahead and just bring that in. I might as well move it. I can just move these files over here. Okay. I should drag this around. Okay, so we're gonna start bringing in the other movie in a minute once I get them on board. Also, I mentioned I was excited because Halloween is, I think inarguably is essentially the father of, or the grandfather of, modern slasher movies, and they're actually making a game. The people made Friday the 13th the game, multiplayer game. They're making a multiplayer version of Halloween, which I'm pretty excited about. It's coming out, I think, in like 160 days or something, some number like that. I'm really excited about that. Looking forward to playing. I enjoyed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. That was actually pretty cool, but it was almost too complicated for me. Like there was all these things you could do and the blood transference and all those weird stuff they had to go on. It's almost too complicated for me. But I like the idea of one person plays the killer and other people play the victims running around trying to survive. I had what I like about Halloween is essentially they make a little meta game inside of it, which is you're also trying to. Oh, there he is. Let me bring him in here. Also,
Hey,
what's up, Lauren? Oh, I gotta put my headset in now since you're here. I have my headphones in, so I can't hear you. Let's see. Hold up a sec. Here we go. I see. Oh, I think I hear him. Say something, Lawrence.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, cool. Yeah, I was just I wasn't sure if you will make it. I thought your family emergency might make us have to reschedule. So I was just coming to stream to have one person waiting and let them know what's going on. But then I saw your text message. So okay, we can actually do it. So I just kind of been filling air a little bit. So
Yeah,
let me
I'm on the ghetto version right now because the port on my computer is broke. That's why my camera. So I'm on the regular camera because I can't use my HD camera. So
well, that's okay as long as you sound good. I'm telling you, the most important thing about like even video, even YouTube, is that it sounds good. The video is nice, but if it's as long as our voices sound good and clear and are relatively balanced, which I think they are, then we're good and we can kind of get on with the show. So the first category we're going to talk about is reviewing top 2025 movies. Is the top 5 movies that we keep. We only keep 5 movies each of us. We talked together last week, came with our nominees for these categories. We can only keep 5 movies. Which 5 would they be? So I'm gonna go through the nominees. I'm gonna switch us to the different cam here, boom, and then I'm gonna bring in our nominees here. So hold up a second. Let me add in. We gotta grab what is it? Presentation, image file. I'm gonna go in here. 420, 411. Yeah, top 5. So I'm gonna start bringing them in. Then we'll talk about them once we. I'm gonna go through the nominees first. Actually, I guess we'll kind of talk about the nominees as they go in, and then we'll circle back and give our top 2. So the first one we had here, which I think you saw with me as well. I think you've also seen, is Black Bag, Steven Soderbergh's kind of thriller about a married couple who are spies who get caught up in a situation where they're not sure if they can trust each other. And it's kind of a combination of a whodunit with a kind of a spy whodunit. So it's not about a murder per se, but it's about there's somebody who's a traitor amongst these like 6 or 7 characters of the couple, and then there are 4 other people. And the question is one of the members of the couple the traitor, or is it one of the other, I think 3 or 4 people that are the traitor? And so they're doing all that stuff. And it's a movie that I think most people would agree is good. I actually really loved it. It was one of those movies that I've already seen a second time, which isn't true for a lot of these movies because they only came out last year. But I saw a bunch of them, and so I saw it several times, and I liked it even more. I think I saw it 3 times actually. I think I took my daughter to see it, and then I also saw it like when it was on Peacock or something. So I think I've seen it like 3 times. I just one of those movies that it's not an all-time great movie, but it's a movie that I thoroughly just have fun, great dialogue, great acting. Fassbender's killing it. They're all killing it in this movie. All the acting is good. Even that black dude from Bridgerton, he's even pretty good in it. So it's just cool stuff, interesting stuff happening all around. They have this dinner table situation multiple times where they're sitting there and they're kind of going back and forth with the dialogue. It's just, I think it's one of the best like Steven Soderbergh style movies I've seen. I'm a particular fan of his. Even like Haywire with Gina, what's her face? Gina
Carano.
Gina Carano, yeah, even like that. I saw that again not too long ago. That had Michael Fassbender in it too, along with Ian McGregor. That's kind of a Soderbergh deep cut that I actually like. But
it's funny. Too.
Oh, you did? Oh, see, we should talk about that again sometime soon. But yeah, I watched it like 6 months ago or something. So I hadn't seen it in several years. But yeah, so I had a good time with that. So yeah, man, like how you seen Black Bag though, right?
Actually, I have not. I haven't seen
it. Wow. You haven't seen it. Okay, so this is one of my nominees. So that's how it goes. Some of these are going to be stuff you've seen that I haven't, and vice versa. So this is my nominee. So that's why this one makes my list. It's not because it's anything particularly unique about it, but because I just really enjoy watching it. It's one of those movies that's just fun to watch. Just the back and forth, the characters, just great moments. One of those kind of movies. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just well done, cinema, kind of espionage stuff. And so that's that nominee. That's our first one. Let's go to the next one. We're gonna go. Yeah, I can just press present. Yeah, I can just do that image. Next one up. Now, this one I know we both did see. F1, starring Brad Pitt and what's that black actor's name? I think he's dating Lori Harvey now or something. Young cat. Can you kind of do the Wikipedia for us here? Because I'm trying to like manage the photos here. Idris, not Idris Elba, but Damon Idris. Damon Idris is his name. So Damon, so starring Brad Pitt is like the veteran driver, F1 driver, who's kind of based on a real character and real crash and all that cool, interesting stuff. You want to Google that. And Damon Idris is a young guy, and it's kind of like this mentor-mentee relationship, but obviously there's competitive as well because it's F1, and F1, a lot of F1 is about who the main driver is and who's the guy that's the guy the team is really behind is the primary driver. And so there's like a competitive aspect to it, but also a kind of like begrudging mentor aspect too. So this one was it was written by the guy who wrote Top Gun Maverick. Very good. Oh, I'm sorry. It was directed by the director of Top Gun Maverick. It was written by Aaron Kruger. I remember we talked about this movie. We talked about Scream 3, and you explained to me why Scream 3 wasn't entirely Aaron Kruger's fault because the production was so problematic. Because to me, that was like the first time I heard about him as a screenwriter, and it was Scream 3, which is one of my least favorite Scream movies. But basically, it's that and 7 are the bottom of the barrel. And he was the writer of it. And so I'm like, is he not a good screenwriter? But he's done some decent other stuff. But F1 really impressed me. It's just a well done AAA film. Just one that they spent a lot of money. It's very much, to some people, it might be to its detriment. It feels very much like a very Hollywood movie. There's certain take to a certain rhythm to it and the way that it goes that is very familiar if you see a lot of movies. Again, it's not a movie that is particularly revolutionary in any way. It's just a well-made Hollywood, again, mentor-mentee and competition, but also kind of begrudging respect situation with it. And so that's F1. You did see F1. I know you saw F1 because we talked about it. What in brief were your thoughts about F1?
I loved it. I wish I saw it in the theater. I looked at this. I got it. I looked at it on. I think I have 60-inch TV. I checked out on TV, and I just remember looking at some of the race scenes, and I'm just thinking, damn, I wish I saw it in IMAX.
Oh yeah, that's right, man. You saw like a little screen, man, and it's one of those movies you want to see as big a screen as possible because it looks so good. That helps it a lot, man. I mean, the racing. Obviously, if there's one thing about this movie that I love the most, it was the racing scenes. They have the paced well. The last one you could argue maybe too long, but I thought it was perfect. And it's just, racing. There are a lot of good racing movies out there, but this one stands up to just about all of them. I think I said before, I prefer Ford versus Ferrari over it a little bit. I think that's just like the acting. It's just to me like a more profound movie than this is. This is really a Hollywood type level of drama. Ford versus Ferrari, I think, is a little bit heavier movie, but they're both. But the racing is so good for no other reason. If you like racing movies, even if you don't like the acting or the story that much, you'll appreciate it just for the racing, just seeing them on the course and the drama of the racing and how it looks. It's chef's kiss. It's incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah. I do think I like you're saying. Actually, one of my favorite race movies is Rush. I think it's maybe a little fraction behind that, but it's basically, it feels like Top Gun Maverick in racing movies. So it kind of feels like, it's funny because that's the same director.
Same director, absolutely.
Kind of the same concepts as that film. But the only one minor problem is that Damson Idris, it seems like there's a piece missing from his story arc.
I can see that. Like it's not quite balanced. It's a little more Brad Pitt. It seems like ideally it would be completely balanced between them and two. He's there, and it's the story. He has his own story, but it doesn't feel as profound as interesting as Brad Pitt's. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that is fair. Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go on to the first one that's kind of yours. That's removing ad. I'm not sure. Zootopia 2. So I'm going to see this, but I have not seen it yet. You have seen it, and you actually, no, I just haven't gotten to it yet. I do want to have us kind of talk more in depth about it another time. But here's the thing: I could just sit down and just watch it, but I know my daughter wants to see it with me, so I want to kind of wait and do that. So that's probably why I haven't gone ahead and just done it. We've watched like 1 or 2 movies since then, which I might talk about later in the stream briefly. But for me, I'd want to see with her, so I waited. So why don't you like say, assuming people have seen the first Zootopia, what this one kind of like, just where this one picks up and what your feeling about it was generally.
Yeah, overall, I think it was awesome. It's just as good as the first one.
Okay.
It's in a lot of ways it's kind of the same movie, but it kind of picks up their partnership, and it's one of those things where their friendship and their friendship is tested, and a lot of sequel stuff thrown in there. But overall, I think it's a really, I would say, great movie in a couple ways. It kind of surpasses the first one.
Interesting.
But it's a lot of interesting little tidbits to have in it. It's because they have some homages to some other films.
Okay.
That I'm not sure that if you're taking your kids to see it, they might not get. So it's kind of, they have some stuff for it's kind of more for adults and more kind of film buffs. But overall, I mean, I think it's a great family movie.
Wow. Because I like the first one, but I can't say that like, the first one was the bomb or anything. Like I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining, but there's nothing to me profound about the first one. Kind of reminded me of like the bad, which we'll talk about a little bit later, the Bad Guys movies, where there's a bunch of like burglars or criminals that have their stories, their adventures, and it's fun and it's entertaining, but there's not much gravitas to it compared to like a Pixar movie, where you feel like, wow, there's something profound about this old man, these balloons, or this robot in this dystopian future, or what have you, or even about toys and about growing up and leaving things behind and what have you. Like the first one was just like not quite a buddy cop story, but it's like kind of like that, but with animated the animals in an entertaining way. And it sounded like they may have tried to aim a little higher with this one in terms of the drama than the first one. Because the first one to me was not in any way profound. It was just a good movie, which is fine, but that
opens up for a great sequel.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. The other ones, have you seen Weapons yet?
I haven't looked at the whole movie.
Half the movie?
I got interrupted.
Oh, okay. All right.
It starts out good, but I can't really say it, but
don't whatever. We won't spoil anybody, because we're trying to give people kind of good ideas of movies to watch.
Yeah.
So much. But here's the thing. So just to go through it briefly, and so it's kind of the first half of this movie is like a Rashomon, if I believe that's the correct reference, style telling of certain events over again from different people's perspectives. And then the last, it's not quite half the movie. I think it's like the last 40% of the movie. Then is a linear resolution of the story. It's horror. It's kind of and part of the mystery of, which is hard to talk about, is what kind of movie is it? So it's like you don't really want to say too much. And honestly, it's some of the awards that it's won and some of the acclaim it's gotten kind of spoils it a little bit. If you really are paying attention too closely to that kind of stuff. But it's essentially a horror movie. It's from the guy that made the Barbarian movie about the woman that's in the Airbnb, and it's like, don't go down that door, and she opens the door to the stairwell down into oblivion, and the guy's screaming out for her. She goes down, and things happen. It's like that. I liked it more than Barbarian, which I enjoyed. I like Barbarian, but I thought this one is something that is a more overall interesting story, interesting characters. The thing that was missing, I thought, from Barbarian was I didn't really like any of the characters that much. I didn't like the main character lady. I didn't like the other dude. So it was an interesting kind of stands apart story, but I wasn't really into it. I wasn't invested the same way that Weapons kind of invests you into the various characters in the community and what's going on with them. And there's like all the allusions to gun violence stuff and the concepts about survivor's guilt or parents' guilt, and losing your children, and there's this stuff like that that I think that gives this one more oomph than Barbarians has. So to me, this is the first one of the ones we've talked about that one of the big reasons why you want to keep it as a movie is the uniqueness of it and how interesting it is. Not just how enjoyable it is as a viewing experience, but just this is a movie that I can't say I've ever seen this mix of elements into a movie in this genre before. So like if I'm listing like the top 100 or 200 different types of movies, this is almost a kind of movie. Like I could see over the next 20 to 30 years a half a dozen other movies that are basically this movie again with a different concept at the center of it. Again, there's a mystery of this, so I don't want to say, but what's at the center of this, the horror of it, you could make different and use the same storytelling structure and make other movies that are cool too. So I could see this making genre, same way Die Hard made genres or Halloween made genres. I could kind of see Weapons making a genre in that way. So I think it's impressive in that way, as well as I think pretty enjoyable movie experience. Although the biggest flaw to me is the Rashomon stuff goes on a little too long. At some point, I'm like, I think the last one, I'm like, okay, I've seen most of what happens here, and I've got to sit through this one more perspective telling of what happened. And I understand why from writing standpoint, from a development standpoint, but at that point, I'm ready for like the linear story to go on. And it's still doing now let's start 2 days back from this person's perspective. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of tired of that now. So from that pure movie going experience, I thought that was a little bit of a flaw, but it's relatively minor. I thought it was an excellent third act, which you haven't seen yet, but oh man, it's got one of the really good payoff in the third act. Just thinking about it makes me giggle, dude. The third act, man, got some wild stuff in it. So yeah, you'll see that in a little bit, but yeah, so that's Weapons. Let's go to the next one. So another one of my nominees. This is Warfare. Have you seen Warfare yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. This is a very condensed story of a group of, I think they're Marines, but I'm not absolutely sure which part of the military they're in. They're in Iraq, and they find themselves needing to take up Iraqi home, and they fortify it, and they're besieged by enemy Iraqi soldiers or insurgents, whatever you want to call them, but Iraqi dudes that are trying to kill them. And they have to try to make their way out. And I believe it's based on a true story, and it is extremely well told, like very authentic in the way the stunts, in the effects, in the way war is portrayed, the fog of war, like not really knowing what's going on, is done well. I remember talking to you about this almost a year ago when it was coming out, thinking, I wonder how they're going to deal with this whole idea of the United States in Iraq, which, there are a lot of very questionable cause, and our presence there is a kind of ethically questionable. And what they kind of do is leave it to you. It's not jingoistic, but it's not anti-jingoistic. It kind of says, this is what's going on. These are the reactions, because the reaction of the Iraqis who live there, their reaction to the American soldiers taking over their house, and you're just kind of left to have your own opinions about it. It doesn't really it doesn't have a message to me either way. I think to me it specifically does that. It didn't seem accidental. It seemed like they specifically said, we're going to make this movie, tell this story, but not glorify it in any way, but not demonize it either. We're just going to tell the story of these soldiers and what they went through. And let you make what you will of it. But it was surprisingly good. I didn't think it'd be bad. The trailers look good, but it really, if you saw the trailers, it really lives up to what you see in the trailers.
See, now I'm interested to see it because
Yeah,
I noticed because a lot of the Vietnam films, most of them question the morality of
mm-hmm.
the U.S. just being there. Most of the movies that came out about Iraq and Afghanistan, they've been very pro-U.S.
Mm-hmm. And that's not by accident. A lot of times they
Mhm.
work with the American government and they get access by having a certain perspective.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because a lot of them actually finance some of these movies because they use it as recruiting tools.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
think that was even true for Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick was like in that system, and like they got their okays from the U.S. government and all that stuff for what they were doing and stuff too.
mm-hmm.
Like to get the access they got in terms of filming where they were able to film and what have you. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now I really want to see it now because I know I looked at American Sniper. I know about 90% of that was BS. But now that you mentioned that side of it, I kind of want to see. It was U.S. Navy SEALs, by the way.
Oh, for warfare?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the battle of Ramadi.
Ramadi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of picture the word, but I don't know how to pronounce it particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next one. This is a little bit of more of a low key one. This is a movie called The Amateur. Have you seen this one?
It's in my library. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so this is on your to-do list. So I'll explain a little bit. So The Amateur, the titular character is, what's that actor's name? The one on the left, Rami Malek. Rami Malek. He's this like a CIA analyst whose wife is she's in some like international affairs, I think international business affairs or something, and he sees her on television get killed by some like terrorists. Let's say terrorists. I'm like, yeah, I believe actually were terrorists, by some terrorists, and so he goes to the CIA and says, I want to find the guys who got my wife. And they're like, what are you talking about, man? You're not a field agent at all. Like, you're not qualified for this. Lawrence Fishburne ultimately, he uses some leverage. As a CIA analyst, he manages to find a way to get some leverage on some certain people. And they say, okay, we'll play along with this. And so they use Lawrence Fishburne, who's a former like trainee kind of guy. They have him, a trainer. He's a veteran trainer. They bring him in to train Rami Malek. And so he comes in, and then there's a training sequence. And I don't want to kind of give too much of the story away, but essentially he eventually kind of goes out on his own to try to get these folks. And the training doesn't go particularly well, but despite that, he goes out on his own. And that's the movie. And the trailer is very good representation of what the movie is, which is using a lot of asymmetrical warfare and his wits, but he's kind of got everybody coming after him too, because what he's doing is not sanctioned. And I think it's a sort of fun, well done movie that surprised me how good it was. I thought it'd be cool, like I enjoy it, but Lawrence Fishburne's really good. Rami Malek, who I'm not the biggest fan of, I thought was good in it. I remember watching him in Mr. Robot. He's fine, but he was on Some of the Little Things with Denzel. I thought that movie was terrible.
Like Rami Malek.
I'm not a huge fan. He's okay, but it seemed like to me he's the same guy in every movie. Like he's got such a specific affect to him. But this one, it works, and I thought he did a good job. So that's The Amateur. Let's see. Now you have some more that are yours. Hold on. Let me see. Where are you? Oh, here's one. This is you. So you put this nomination in for the last. I'm not last necessarily, but hypothetically the last Mission Impossible movie. They definitely had a lot of tones of we're bringing around to the kind of the end of this. So I think the thought is it very well might be, but I think if you give them enough money, they'll do another one. But the thing is, they don't make that much money, honestly. It costs too much. So I think the last one underperformed, and that delayed this one getting made. But anyway, this is the kind of the sequel to the last one. It definitely feels very much like its own movie. It's kind of like it's but it kind of follows from the ending of the last one, and they have the same foe, which is this AI, and these people that have their various sights set on using the AI for their own purposes, and definitely got some good set pieces. You know, Tom Cruise is good. It's a good Mission Impossible movie. I think you kind of liked it to be a little more than I did, or it might just be that you haven't. There's some other options that you haven't seen yet, like weapons. But what are your thoughts on Mission Impossible? It's the Final Reckoning, but I call it. It's also I believe it's the 8th one, but
Yeah.
it's called Final Reckoning. That's the official subtitle.
Yeah, like you're saying, I'll put this on the list because I don't think I saw enough good movies last year, so I had this one of my 5.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie because you know especially I would say the last maybe 4 Mission Impossibles have all pretty much been the same movie, but they're all I look forward to the different, you know, the stunts,
Yeah.
or action scenes. You know, I think that's what everybody kind of looks forward to. And I mean, honestly, I don't know how much longer he actually keep it up. I mean, he does most of his own stunt work, not the really really dangerous stuff, but you know, some of the stuff. But
whatever they'll insure him for, whatever you get insurance for, they do it.
Yeah, but like you're saying, because the thing is, he's the producer. He makes just off topic. He makes a lot of money especially when they go to TV. It's kind of like the Bond series. I mean, every time they put out a new movie, the old ones get put on TV, and you know they make a lot of money from sponsorship and you know all that stuff. That's why they want to keep cranking them out, basically. But it was, I would say, it's probably maybe the best one out of maybe since part 4.
Or Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, because I mean, apparently the 3rd one was supposed to be the last one actually, but it was so terrible that they're like, okay, we got to do another one. And then that one was so good, they're like, hey, let's do a 5th one. And then, you know, the 5th one was the 2-parters, 5 and 6, and this one was a 2-parter. So, you know, I don't know what if they decide to make a 9th one. I don't know what.
Yeah,
you know, I don't end up, but I would say it was one of the best movies that I've seen so far. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see another movie from last year that I'm gonna replace it with.
Yeah,
but so far, I mean, it's
for you. It's
top 5.
Sure. I don't think 5. I didn't think 5 and 6 were sequels. I just think they related them to each other, but I don't think because 6 was Fallout, 5 was Rogue Nation. You're right that they were linked though, because they had Alec Baldwin was in both of them, and I think they were connected. But I don't think, like, if you watched Rogue Nation, you didn't feel like, oh, there's going to be another one after it necessarily. When they made Fallout, though, I think they made it as a kind of carryover. They connected it to several things because Macquarie did 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He did all 4 of those. So it's his writing, and I think he was connecting. I think he connected some stuff from 5 to 6, and there were some returning characters, and he continued on the themes from 5. I don't think though that it was an explicit like sequel, and at least like whereas like this one with they actually called it Part 1, even though that's gone now. Like if you look now, it doesn't say Part 1 anymore. Anywhere you look, it's the last one, 7, is called Mission Impossible. It's not Dead Reckoning. It used to be when it came out, it was Dead Reckoning Part 1. Then they changed this from the Final Reckoning, which didn't change the other one to Dead Reckoning. But that's my thought on that. But I could be mistaken about that. But yeah, I would agree. Like my favorite Mission Impossibles are probably 4. This one, 4, 8, 4, and 8 are probably my 2 favorites. I need to rewatch this one though, because I've seen all the other ones at least twice, except for 7 and 8. So I kind of need to watch 7 and 8 again, see how well they hold up. But yeah, right now I would agree with you. I think it's easier for me to say the ones I didn't like. I didn't like 3, and I did not particularly like 6, Fallout. It felt to me too much like a spy movie, not like a Mission Impossible movie. If you know what I mean, like it felt like it was like the Tom Cruise movie, like because Mission Impossible was about like you said, the set pieces, like these Mission Impossible things, and like these very extremely difficult things he has to try to do to accomplish his goals. And 6 seemed more like just a spy movie with explosions and guns. Like it just didn't feel like it wasn't bad. Like it was like, oh, this is terrible. It was just like it didn't feel like a Mission Impossible movie to me, like a little bit. So, but yeah, I think it's. But I enjoyed 7. I think Big Sea Travel 7 was like the third act was kind of funky, if I remember correctly. To me, I like some of the set pieces though. 7 had good set. I love like the airport set piece is really cool with Benji and what's the black dude's name?
Oh, Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames. Well, I know Ving Rhames' name, but the character he plays, Donovan or whatever his name is called.
Oh, that's Luther.
Luther. Thank you. I know it's like a quote unquote like whatever black name. Like it was like I want to call him like Rufus or Luther or something. Something only a black person it'd be named this in a movie in 2026. But not overtly. It's one of those old black man names, but you know what I'm saying? like again, it's Luther. So yeah, like that was a really cool. It's one of my favorite. That's one thing I wanted to kind of do maybe at some point is rank all of the set pieces in Mission Impossible, like all of them. Like that to me, that would be cool. To like go and kind of talk about the different set pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like through all 8 movies, just like going through Saw, all the traps in Saw. You know, somebody did that. This horror YouTuber did that not too long ago. Those are kind of cool. His though, it's like there are a bazillion traps. Or Mission Impossible, there are 8 movies. There are probably about 20 set pieces. That's about it. There's not that many of them. Whereas Saw, there are like 10 movies. 11th one supposedly coming eventually, but it's got the production whatever turnaround. That's going through like the Scream thing where it's like they had a plan, but it didn't work out or something, and now they don't know what they're doing. They're supposed to have a script, and these don't have one. It's like they're a victim of their success. Like Saw X is probably one of the best Saw movies of all 10 of them. And so they're like, oh, snap. And people saw it and made money. Like, oh, we got to make it up. And then they're like, okay, what do we do? They don't know what to do. I think that they're kind of stuck there. Scream 7 is probably going to go through that because Scream 7 made a boatload of money, man. Apparently it made like $200 million or something. And it was made cheap. They made it for like 30 million, 30, 40 million. You could tell it was cheap. They made it on cheap and it made bucks. So now they'd be like, oh, we're going to bring Sidney Prescott back again. Like what are they gonna do, man? They gotta do something else, man. I might have to boycott that. If they come back and Sidney Prescott being chased for the 8th or 7th time, whatever it is, I'm like, nah. You know what? I'm gonna pass. Y'all gotta learn a lesson because this is ridiculous. Because it could go, man. I don't see why I could ever stop having Scream movies. Like I'm fine with that, but you gotta be creative. Like it can't just be Sidney Prescott being harassed for the upteenth time by somebody. And it comes more and more weird explanations for why they're chasing her or something. It's just they just do better. Like they had the new trilogy and they screwed it up. It's like, all right, fine. Try something else. Get some new director. Get a good idea. Make 3 movies. Maybe bump it forward. I'm not a huge fan of the chick playing Sidney Prescott's daughter. Somebody like to point out that Sidney Prescott's daughter, unlike where people jumping in the stream, I'm talking about Scream with Mission Impossible up here. But Sidney Prescott's daughter, they're like, she didn't have a kid in 3. Like, why would she have a child? She married with kids. In 3, she didn't have any kids. So is this 17 years after 3?
Yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
I don't know. That's kind of tough.
But I think they're trying to save the same spine as the original because they had to pivot.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the screenplay they had for the other 2 actors. What's her face?
I think it's a totally different script. I think because Kevin Williamson came back and wrote and directed this, and I don't think that was the plan. I think they had a different screenwriter and they were gonna do something different. Probably stayed in New York or something, and they couldn't do it because the people left. You're like, okay. I hope they didn't. This wasn't the same script. I'll put it that way. You haven't seen it, right? 7. Yeah, I really. You see it, you wouldn't think that. You would not think it was. It's something that seemed like it was just thrown together. Doesn't make sense. It's just a mess. It's not the same movie. It can't be that was their plan. No. Because the last two were good. As I said, the last two are two of like the four best ones, I think. It's probably 1, 2, and then 5 and 6. 3 was terrible. 4, some people like. 4, I thought had problems with the acting in it, and the third act's a little goofy. And then there's this, and then there's 7. So, you know. But anyway, let's keep on going. Another nominee. I think we both see Sinners. I don't know what to say. It's like a period vampire piece. Ryan Coogler. Tons of themes about power of music. About, you know, I heard somebody interpret it as the main character is Ryan Coogler as a filmmaker and his experiences. I think that may be the core of it. That he took a lot of what's inside him about how he feels as a filmmaker in Hollywood and translated that into a vampire movie. I thought that was a very interesting interpretation of it. And also kind of explains why it kind of goes in several directions at once. There's the white, black, kind of white supremacy aspect to it. There's a religious aspect to it. There's this like cultural kind of appropriations, all these different things going on. It's like, if you think of it as the filmmaker talking about his craft, but translating to different form, it kind of makes sense to me. So anyway, I personally, for Sinners, I think we talked about it once before, but I'll say it again. I actually liked the first half more. I thought, well, two things. The thing I liked the most about it was Michael B. Jordan's dual performance as the twins. I thought he absolutely deserved an Oscar for that. I'm so glad he won. I thought generally Coogler's cinematography, I mean, just the movie looks beautiful, looks very well made. What else? Let's see here. Those two things, and then just the city, just like seeing that little town, this constructed like kind of like this. It's a sharecropping town, but it's just like this small southern town, and really feel like it's a place in time in this movie. How tangible it does and real it does, and the characters in it and the acting, that stuff. The actual vampire stuff I thought was fine, but was a little underwhelming to me, to be honest. But this another movie like Weapons, that a lot of it is, I've never seen a movie quite like this before. And this is a movie that, you know, I think it's a lot of credit to me for just being something different than, I don't know if anybody else would have made this. You know, there's so many movies that come out and like, okay, half a dozen people could have made that. But this is something, nobody else is making this besides Ryan Coogler, you know. So that means something to me too, you know, in terms of movies. It's when something's made that you feel like really has vision, has like a piece of the person who made it in the movie. And to me, I feel like, you know, Sinners has that.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Sinners?
You know, man, I'm loving Ryan Coogler. You know the funny thing? My least favorite movie from him is actually Black Panther.
Wow.
I think everything else he's done has been genius.
Even Fruitvale Station?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I do like it. It's you know, it was his first movie, but I think it was pretty good for what it was.
It's interesting, but I'm like, I wouldn't rather watch Fruitvale Station than Black Panther.
Well, the thing is, I didn't like the way it ended. It just seemed kind of generic because you know what's coming, but I thought it could have been done a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is every director, you kind of see the movie that they want to be there, that they're trying to get to. They want to be their career defining movie. And you know, Spielberg, it was E.T. I think with Chris Nolan, it was
probably Inception.
With Inception.
Because that was when he made after the Dark Knight money. Once the Dark Knight stuff was popped off, like the people were like, okay, right, here's a blank check, do whatever you want. And he made Inception.
Yeah, I think this is the movie that he was really trying to get to, that he wanted to do. So he might have been thinking about this for his whole career. But I think the movie's genius. Because to tell you the truth, I don't really think he needed the vampires. I think he could have just told. He has enough history in there to make this a totally different film. But
the thing is, though, I think the vampire is important because that's part of the analogy. That's part of what he's trying. That's part of the message that he had about what's going on. He wanted to say it through the lens of vampires. I agree with you. It's not needed, but I think that's why it's there. It's part of the subtext of what he's doing. It's one of the analogies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just there for fun. It's not. He didn't just put it there just like, oh, so otherwise if there's no vampires, nobody will watch it. It's part of the story. He's the part of the point he's making about it. Where this comes from. I think it was natural. I don't think it was because the movies I've seen where you're right, like it feels like that the director or the writer director wanted to make one movie, but they put something else in it just to like get people into the theater or to get them engaged with it. This, I think, I agree with you. I like the parts that weren't the vampire parts. I think that's part of the point. It wasn't really about the vampires. It's just that's where the story goes out of, you know, that's where the telling of it goes. But it's about, you know, a bunch of other stuff as well. But I think that was important for him. See, I agree with you. Yeah, I think he could have made a different movie that didn't have vampires at all. But I think they had a very specific purpose in his mind for this. It wasn't just like, oh, I just need to have it just to get people something to watch. But I think that's part of the reason why, too, to us, I think it was a little disappointing because it wasn't any kind of fanciful take on vampires. They're not just a plot device, but their involvement in the movie or what they do feels very plot devicey in terms of what happens. Like if I told you just the story of what happened with them and the vampires, it's not very interesting. Like they come in, the vampires pick off 2 or 3 people, they get inside, then there's a face off, they run outside, and blah blah blah. You know, what happens is not that interesting in terms of the twists and turns with the vampires. It's very straightforward, and some of it, 1 or 2 of the things is a little silly, but I think that's in part because he wasn't making Sinners to make the most unique vampire movie he could. He was making Sinners so he can make a period piece about black people in the South trying to survive. And I want to involve part of their survival is dealing with vampires of one sort or another. And that was, I think, what he was saying with that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And another thing I'll just say though that, you know, that's one reason why I don't necessarily, and that was the tough thing about watching Sinners, is I didn't necessarily agree with necessarily his feelings about all that stuff. And I remember watching it and being a little uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about everything I think he's saying in this. But you know, that's art, man. You know, they don't make the stuff for the audience to agree with it. So I can appreciate it, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything, his feelings about some of the things that he was expressing with this movie. But you know, as I said, it's. I love when something can be quote unquote artistic and still actually be a good movie, even if I don't necessarily agree with all of it. And that's what Sinners is to me. It's a movie that it's entertaining and it's also very artistic. And sometimes it's hard to say that. Sometimes movies are either, I don't know, what's that movie? What's it called? The Artist, the one that was like black and white and it was like no sound. And I think it won some Oscars and stuff. Sometimes stuff goes all the way that way. It wasn't terrible, but I'm like, I'm not that entertained by this. I'm sorry. Like I appreciate what you're trying to do with this movie, but I'm just not that into it. Or Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Has no artistic point to it. That's an action movie that's just trying to wow you. There's no subliminal, there's no subtext, there's no analogies. It's just Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts and trying to impress you and visually and, you know, whatever, make things interesting. So something like Sinners is, you know, you don't see that a ton necessarily, which that'll go good right into the next thing we look at here. One battle after another. Now, where is that? I have that in here. That's, I think, number 9 here. Did I take that away? What happened to it? I think I didn't have that. Hold on a second. Oh, it's right here. I think I forgot to actually put it in my little queue here. Or is it just hard to see? Because I just did it and it didn't show up. Oh, you know what? I can't share any more more images. It's mad at me. Okay, so I'm going, it's mad at me. So you can't change more than 10. So all right, I gotta remove one. I
Wow.
can throw it in there. Interesting. I guess because ideally you could have them all together at the same time. Anyway, that brings us to one battle after another. Let me move this thing back over here so I can look at you over here. I'm looking over there because you're over there. One battle after another, which is Paul Thomas Anderson's movie about, I would say, fundamentally white supremacy and radicalism. And he's got general comments about both that are embedded into it. Oh, also a little bit of black female fetishism by white people, which, interestingly enough, I felt like a lot of black people took the wrong way. There were black commentators on YouTube that hated this movie because they felt like the director was like oogling Tiana Taylor or something. Like they felt like her character was, the director was too into her or something, which I didn't get at all, because to me her character is an idiot and the movie is not kind to her character. So I didn't quite understand that. To me it was, to me it was clear that the movie was making a point about the sexualization of black women by white men, which of course happened back when there was slavery and women, the slave owners were having babies with them and stuff because they were somehow thinking less of them, but also being with them. And that weird dichotomy, he was saying, that didn't stop in 1865. That still goes on. And that was part of his point about this. I mean, I thought the whole white supremacist conspiracy he had was intentionally ridiculous because white supremacy itself is ridiculous. And he's trying to make that point. He's saying, this is stupid. So I think he named him like the Christmas Club or some weird thing, whatever he named them. That's the whole point. It's all ridiculous. It's this stuff. That's what we talk about, things like race science and all this kind of stuff. It's just skin color. We're all human beings. This whole race thing is ludicrous. And this idea that because your skin color is one or the other, you're better or worse than somebody. It's insane. And that was one of the big points of this movie. But anyway, I'm starting to rant a little bit. But I'll just say this. Like Sinners, this movie is somehow both very entertaining and also very artistic. And I love that when movies can do both of those things. And I thought it did. It's a little long in places. I think it has its flaws. I'm not a huge Paul Thomas Anderson fan when it comes to his filmmaking. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of There Will Be Blood. I appreciate the artistic aspect, but I didn't enjoy watching it as much as a lot of other people did. What's another one? I need to see The Phantom Thread. I haven't seen that. I think it's the only one of his movies I haven't seen. But there's none of his movies I think I liked as much as this one. The other ones I've had either not at the into them or whatever. Like, it's just, this one I really dug it, and DiCaprio is really good in it. I mean, he flips the white savior thing too with DiCaprio's character. I mean, he's with this dude. I don't understand people who don't like this movie. Like, it's long though. It's kind of long, but I dig it, man. Remember the one of my favorite moments is him arguing with the dude on the phone with the codes. That was awesome, dude. That was so good.
I don't feel this. Well, I won't give it away. But yeah, that was.
That's hilarious.
That was exceptional. But it's. I happen to love Paul Thomas Anderson because, as far as I think, he is one of the best, if not the best, at directing actors. There's a lot of actors who gave their career performances in his movies.
Well, There Will Be Blood is well acted. It's like, even though I don't love it as like a film going experience, it's well acted. Like, it's Daniel Day-Lewis, but I'm saying, it's other people too. People Security's got started off of that, but yeah, he's an excellent director. I mean, that's the thing. I would never challenge, even before this movie. Good director. It's just a question of when directors, it's like a Spike Lee thing. When you're a director, you're also a screenwriter. Sometimes one can hurt the other, and I think that Spike more so than Paul Thomas Anderson kind of sometimes hurt himself by writing his own movies. And to me, his primary skill was directing, and his secondary was screenwriting. I think Paul Thomas Anderson is a better screenwriter than Spike Lee, but I think that at times there have been screenplays that I just haven't been into. So he directs them like, oh, this looks beautiful, it's great acting, but I'm just not that into what's going on. But there hasn't been a ton of movies. I'm trying to think. What's another one? You got Phantom Thread. You got There Will Be Blood. One battle for another. What's another one?
I did love Magnolia, where again Tom Cruise gave his career performance in.
Magnolia.
I believe he was nominated. I can't
I think
remember.
he was. He was. I remember that. I actually remember that nomination because I think I was in college when that came out. That was an early one. No, it was kind of college. I was in San Diego or something.
Yeah, it was wild. But
It was a
my
long
favorite,
time ago.
my best memory is when I went with my cousin to see Jackie Brown, and the preview for Boogie Nights came on, and people were actually booing it. And like, the preview was that bad, and then it turns out to be like one of the greatest movies ever made. And then, I think as far as Leonardo DiCaprio, I think this might be personally, I'll say maybe my third favorite performance from him.
It's up there. It's an excellent performance. Absolutely.
I
love that character.
I'll put Wolf of Wall Street first. Django Unchained second. This is probably one of my favorite.
Django's up there. Django's up there because you got to have nuts to play that. Have balls to play that character. Because I remember, Jamie Foxx was talking about like him saying the N-word, and like he was like, "Is this okay?" Jamie was like trying to give him the thumbs up, like, "You got to do it, man," because he was like really feeling away. But oh man, so despicable, so conniving and oily and despicable. The thing is, I think this is up there with those characters. Absolutely. I liked his performance as Jordan Belfort, even though I thought Wolf of Wall Street as a movie kind of goes off the rails as it goes on. The first act's amazing. That's the thing about Wolf of Wall Street. I was watching a piece of it like on Netflix or something. The first act is amazing. Like that first act of him with Matthew McConaughey and him meeting Jonah Hill and him going and doing the thing where he's in the room with the guys trying to sell the pink slip stocks, and they're and they're amazed by him like selling this horrible pink slip, this horrible stock to this plumber or something. Oh man, that first act is so good. That's one thing now, because I was going to watch old movies, but I watch the beginning of them when I'm getting sleepy, and like I always look for like what are the good first acts of movies, and that Wolf of Wall Street first act is amazing. As I said, I was not as biggest fan as it goes on of like the rest of the movie, but that first act is killer. But yeah, no, this performance by him is incredible. Okay, let's see what other nominees we got. Let's see here. I think
those are all my movies.
Okay, yeah, I got one more.
The ones I want to keep.
Yeah, it's my last nominee here. Final Destination: Bloodlines. What's going on? Why is this? Well, here's the thing. If there had been 9 nominees, this would have been the 10th movie that would have made the cut. But I had 10. I wanted to do 10. So I had a whole bunch of movies. And in fact, at the end of the podcast, I want to talk about, I have a list of like a bunch of my other ones that I want to just kind of go through that I liked that didn't quite make this cut. But I thought this year was an excellent year for movies. So I have a bunch of them to share there. But yes, this one, because I think this is probably the best Final Destination movie. With the 6th one, I think they finally kind of got it as close to right as you get in terms of tone, spacing, all that stuff. Nice send-off for Tony Todd thrown in there too. But it's not the greatest movie of all time, but I thought I like the concept of the Final Destination movies, but almost everyone has something fundamentally wrong with it. Either like it's cheap, or the actors are terrible, or the script is bad, or the death stuff doesn't make sense, or there's something going on where there's one or two that are just total. I think it's 3 or 4. With the 3 or 4, it's terrible, and then a lot of other ones are fairly good. So it's a series that I've generally liked. And this I just thought I wanted to include just because it's not my top 5, but it is one of my I thought was good, and I really appreciated that that with the 6th movie they may have actually gotten it right, as right as they've ever gotten it with the Final Destination movies. So I included it. Have you seen that Bloodlines?
Again, this is in my library. I saw one scene, I think, at the beginning, but that's it.
Yeah, the beginning is basically the trailer, the thing with the tower and the stuff. That's the beginning of it. And it's fun because in this movie they kind of go. I think they continue with the thing where all of them are somehow in the same universe, which doesn't really make any sense. But don't think that. Really tried to think about that too hard. But there's like references to the other movies and stuff in it, and they like try to link everything. They keep on trying to. It's funny. Final Destination is one of those movies that keeps on trying to retcon all the previous movies into itself. So if you watch like the first one, there's whatever the story about death. Then the second one says, "Wait, we didn't quite understand something about the first one. Now we understand." And then the third one says, "Wait, we didn't quite understand something about the first two." And the fourth says, "Wait a minute, we didn't quite understand," and it just keeps on going. And so this one has a new kind of take on death, which retcons everything else. But it's like I don't care about that. It's just, I'm not worried about continuity in the Final Destination movies. Like, I don't care.
It seems to me that the producers didn't know anything about the series as a whole. I saw the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny that all the characters from the first one are dead in the second one. I think there was like one of them died off screen, the main guy, and another one died in the movie. The second one, the girl. But I'm like,
yes, I think you're right. In the end of the second one, they kill off one of the people. It's hold up. Actually, that's not true. In the after credits of the first Final Destination, I think they kill off everybody except like one person. Oh no! They kill off one person. There were two people left at the end of one. They killed off one of those two people before two, and the only one left is the other one from that one. I think I get them confused, dude, because they're all like the same movie. I don't. All I know is just one. The one that's terrible is the one with the mall, that involves a mall escalator. That was the terrible one. I can't remember all the details, but the escalator mall one was the one I did not like. I remember that because that's part of the bad thing. But it was just, it's one of those things where, I know what it is. I get mad when it seems like one of the things about the Final Destination movies is whether or not death is actively doing stuff or death is just happenstance. And they sometimes can't decide that in the movies. The ones I like, death is actually trying to get you. And I think they figured that out. The first one, they're not sure about it. The first Final Destination, they're kind of toying with it. Like, is it just really bad luck or is death actually trying to get you? At some point, they're like, death is actually is trying to get you. It's this evil spirit that is coming after you, that's trying to that will physically use telekinesis and do stuff to get you, right? and you'll see it. And to me, I'm like, in all the Final Destination movies, for a given one, you just have to decide which one it is. And the first one was just badly written. The first one had something where it's like, was death trying to set someone up for murder or something? I'm like, what are you all doing? Like, this is it's just a bad script. It was a good idea with a bad script. But later on, but to me, I'm always like, okay, which is it? Is it that? And so in this one, in Bloodlines, if I remember this correctly, I saw it almost a year ago now. So excuse me if I'm wrong. I believe in Bloodlines, death doesn't actively do anything. It's just bad luck. So it's nothing where you'll see like somebody's fine. Let's say somebody's in the shower, taking a shower, and you'll see like a electrical cord just raise up and come across and drop in the water. You won't see that in this movie. There are movies where that stuff happens, where death is like doing stuff. Or it feels like the movie's implying that death is actually moving stuff around to kill you. This one doesn't do that. This one, it's all happenstance. Now, it's unfortunately very bad happenstance, and it's hilariously bad at times, but it's still always done in a way that there's nothing silly, like something's like, floating across the screen, like death did this. So there's nothing like that. It's all stuff that could just be really bad circumstance. So I think that's the way they did it. But regardless, to me, it's consistent. And that's all I'm asking. Any given Final Destination movie, make it be consistent. Either death is a poltergeist. Either death is a poltergeist or death isn't. One or the other. Can't be both. Can't be poltergeist and then other times somebody happens to mess up. It's got to be one or the other. So this one, I think it's consistent, and it's just the characters are pretty good, and they just get all the slasher movie stuff right.
Funny how death is vindictive. It's like,
man.
I got to get you, man.
I got to get you. And it's funny because this one does. That's the thing, though. This one is like hard. This one also too has a great tone. Like it's having fun with you. and it's oh, I know what it was. The bad one, I think it's 3 because it's the one with the racetrack. Because the racetrack stuff is so stupid. Because I remember it's like the racetrack scene is so cheap, it looks terrible. I think that's the bad one. Is 3 because it's the one with the racetrack. So I remember the racetrack is a bad set piece. That's this is stupid. And then I think they have the escalator in a mall or something in the third act. And both of those things are terrible. And the actors are terrible. This is terrible. There's one. It has one good sequence though. There's one good sequence in it. But otherwise, anyway. Point is, this one's actually definitely one of the better ones, and I wanted to shine because there's so many of them are so. As a, most of the time they're flawed. This one actually, to me, it's you like it how much you like it, but there's no obvious like wow they messed that up, they messed this up. It works however much you like this type of movie. Yeah. So now let's go to it. So for you, what are your 5? If you could only keep 5 movies and get rid of all the rest of them from 2025 that you've seen, what 5 are you keeping? One I remember was Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. What are the other 4?
I think we went over all one bad after another, F1, Sinners, and Zootopia 2.
Okay. Were there any of them that you were like not sure about? That you was like, oh, this is close or tough? Or were they all? I guess you just said Mission Impossible was the one that if one falls out, it's gonna be that
one. Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, there's some I haven't seen yet.
Oh, sure. I mean, besides that, this is only stuff you've seen.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe Fantastic Four.
Well, no, that's not in there. I'm saying. Oh, you're saying that might come up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I was surprised by it. I didn't know it was gonna be that good. Yeah. Not that it was great, but
yeah, I think you like that more than me. Yeah.
It was a lot better than the other Fantastic Four movies that they tried to.
Yeah, it's kind of a low bar, but I hear you on that. No, I enjoyed it, but it was nowhere near my top 5. It's towards the bottom of what I would consider good movies. I did consider it a good movie, good third act. Even though I didn't love the second act of it, a lot of what's going on in the middle of the movie, I'm like, nah. But I did like the first act, and the third act was a good finale. So I think that helped save the movie. Honestly, for me, was a very good third act. So my 5, the obvious ones for me were Sinners, 1, Battle After Another, and Black Bag. Those are easy 3. The other ones were tough. What I ended up going, and Weapons. So those 4 were easy. Those are the 4 easy ones. Weapons, 1 Battle After Another, Sinners, and Black Bag. The last one was basically between Warfare and F1 for my 5th one. That was the toughest one there. And I think I have to go with F1 just because there's more to it. Warfare is well done, but it's just not a whole lot to it. It's very straightforward. It's what it is. I think I would give the edge to F1 on that. But it's close there. And of course, right at the bottom, as I said, the one that's was that after that, The Amateur was, I think, a very good genre film, but it's ultimately just a genre film. But that's the other one that was kind of in the running was F1. I'm sorry, besides Warfare that didn't quite make it was The Amateur. That was a pretty good one. All right. So now let's go to that's weird. Now let's go and pull up the other. Let me bring up the first one, and then we can start talking about stuff. So let me get rid of these. Fortunately, only have 10, so I got to start deleting stuff here. I'm gonna leave Bloodlines up there for a minute while I do this. Did you watch anything like in the last day or 2?
I looked at some old movies. I saw oh crap, Blue Thunder. It was a really old.
Oh yeah, man, I saw Blue Thunder, man. Helicopter movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wasn't bad. Actually, I actually liked it.
Yeah, I remember liking it as a kid. I don't know, I don't know how good it is now, but
you remember that movie? You remember Tank?
Yes, I remember. That was one of the first movies I ever saw. Was Tank?
Yeah, we saw it together.
Oh, we saw it together. That was one of the first movies I ever saw. But that on television, we didn't go to theaters, man. It came out in like 1984. We were like 10 years old or something. When did we see that?
We saw it in the theater.
What?
Your mom took us to the theater.
Maybe it was 87. That just seems so long ago. Because somebody, I remember the plot of that movie, man. It was somebody like they went and they had to steal a tank from a base for some reason. What was the reason? Do you remember the reason? They had to steal a tank from a base and start driving it around for some moral reason. There's some people that was important to steal this tank. And they're driving around and people trying to stop him. And we root for him in the tank for some reason. Why were we driving around, man?
I honestly don't remember. I gotta look it up again.
All right. So we gotta start with this, man. So while I do this, I'm gonna let you go. So we do the bottom 5 movies. There are 5 movies you could delete from existence that came out in 2025. You decided, for some reason, you wanted to nominate Superman. Now, I was not the biggest fan of Superman. I saw what James Gunn was trying to do, but it didn't quite work for me. I thought it was fairly good, actually. It's in my kind of movies that were borderline good. I need to watch it again though. But you actually had it in your bottom 5. While I'm loading up these other movie titles, what's going on, man? Why you hate Superman? Why you hate Superman?
It just wasn't. I don't think it was just a good story. I mean, I did like Mr. Fantastic.
You mean Mr. Terrific?
Terrific. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Terrific? Anyway, but
yeah, Fantastic Four in the brain. That's all.
It just wasn't. I actually wrote all this down because I was about to write my review, but story wise, and I try not to get into politics and all, but it's it could have been more subtle politically.
Right. But yeah, it was pretty on the nose. That's true.
And I don't think it was just holds up to the other films. And I was telling people, I think Man of Steel, which I actually liked, is going to look a whole lot better after this when it came out.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I have to see it again and check out my notes on the review, but it's I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it.
I mean, but you want to wipe it out from existence, man. Not even like, oh, I didn't like it that much. You want to nuke it. You want to nuke this movie.
It could have been done a whole lot better.
Oh man!
And this is going to start off the new. Apparently, starts off the new DC universe.
Yep, that's right.
And that because I know Supergirl is about to come out.
Yeah, which does not look good to me. I think that movie is not going to be very good. I think it's going to be worse than this movie. I'll be honest with you. The trailers do not look good to me. I don't even like the actress that much. I don't find her charismatic at all. I think it's that movie might really do bad, and DC might. That movie, I don't think it will, but it has the potential to derail his entire new DC universe. That movie might come out and bomb because it's a summer movie. It's not even coming out like the early or in the fall. Sometimes he drop it in the middle of the summer against the heavyweights. I don't know, man. That's trouble. That's trouble. It's probably fine, but
they repurposed Jason Momoa. I guess maybe had a contract with him or something. I don't know. But
well, I mean, I think it's good casting. I think he's a great person to play a character. So I think they just like cool. And probably he's probably a cool dude. He probably like working with him. A lot of stuff like that. Like if he was just cool and it was easy to deal with him, that means a lot to like studios and directors when somebody's easy to deal with. And Momoa, like, there's nothing I've heard about him being like a trouble on set or any issue. I think people like him,
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So I think I think it might be simple as they had the idea and they're like, yeah, cool, let's get him. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did with it. It's all right. It's all right. Well, that's Superman. Let's go ahead and do another one of yours, man. I have not seen this movie, The Woman in the Yard. I heard terrible things about this movie.
Yeah, this is horrible.
It's horrible. So here's the thing. So I looked at the trailer, and it looked like it had potential. Creepy woman just appears in their yard outside their house, but there's not a lot. The trailer doesn't tell you a whole lot about what happens. What's the best way to describe why it doesn't work? Like, what about it does? Why is it so terrible?
It's not scary at all.
Okay, that's a problem.
It's just not.
And it's not hard to be scary. It's really easy to make a movie that's a little scary. That's pretty bad.
It's been a while. I forgot my notes, but it just doesn't. I mean, you watch a horror movie, it's supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
and I understand what they're trying to do, but they just did not execute it very well.
It's like
And
they're probably trying to do like a slow burn or something, and this is no burn, something like
yeah,
that.
and the stuff is building up, but it's not. It just builds up to just a very flat
Yeah,
scenes towards the end, and then you find out what's
what's going
what
on, and it's just
story
whack.
behind her, and it's just not. It's just not exciting. It's just not interesting.
Okay.
And is this lady, and she, what did they just move there or some? She recently, if I remember, she recently lost the husband,
Yeah.
and she's living in this farmhouse with her kids. And
Mhm.
actually, her son, I forgot his name. The boy plays. He's actually pretty good. He's probably the bright spot about the movie.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the story is just flat. It's not. Again, it's just not. It doesn't scare you. Not even jump scares are good. It's
That's
just.
what I'm saying. Like, how hard is it to do some jump scares? Like, how hard is it just to like get people's blood flowing? You know, that's what. I'm not. I don't love jump scares, but if you're struggling, throw something in there just to keep people interested. Yeah, they do that with weapons because weapons isn't the first half of it is not scary. It's like setting everything up. But what they do is they mess with you a little bit just to keep you involved. In particular, that scene early on when a woman's in her house and she hears some noises. They just messing with you, you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to like just get your blood flowing, you know. Like that was smart because the first half of the movie is just dramatic setup, so you have to like keep people in bed. That's just being cognizant of you got to entertain people. You can't just have too much just just setup. You have to get people hearts going or something, especially with horror. Okay, all right. So this is one of my nominees, A Working Man. This, I believe, was directed by David Ayer, who also directed The Beekeeper, which is a good movie.
Oh man, you knocked this out of existence. I didn't see it. But...
Say what?
You didn't like The Working Man?
Nah, it just didn't work for me. Like as an action movie, I thought it was. I didn't feel like he was in any danger at all the whole movie. It was a little bit like that's one of those things that you walk a tightrope. This one just it felt so the story didn't really work. I thought this wasn't particularly good, and then the action scenes, which ostensibly would kind of save it, didn't much work either. So here's the thing about it, man, too, is I felt like this year, and there are a couple other nominees you'll see that okay, those are actually really bad movies. This is not a terrible movie. It's just not very good. I didn't enjoy it very much. But I was fortunate, like a lot of movies like The Woman in the Yard, I just didn't watch them. So I feel like I dodged several bullets. So I had a list here of movies. There's several bullets I know about I dodged. I did not see the what is that movie? The Minecraft movie. I did not watch that. It looked terrible. My daughter told me it was terrible when she saw it. She saw it because she likes Minecraft. She had to see it. I didn't see it. I mean, I dodged that bullet. Flight Risk was apparently not good. That one with Mel Gibson with the bald spot. I heard that was terrible. I think you saw that. Did you see that?
Oh, you're talking about Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg with the bald spot thing. Did you see that?
I didn't see it actually. It's in my library again.
In your library. So you haven't seen it yet, though. I heard that was terrible. Let's see here. What else? What else do we got here? What other terrible movies are there? I heard. Well, I didn't watch all of it though. That sequel, the Ice Road. Remember I told you about that movie Ice Road? The Ice Road with Liam Neeson. It was on. It was on. I think it was directly to Netflix.
Yeah.
It was written and directed by the guy who wrote Die Hard 3 on John Henslaw, whatever his name is. I thought it was good. It was a big, incredible surprise. One of those super one of those really good movies you like love recommending to people. I want to give a list of those like movies that you probably never heard of that are actually good movies. That's one of them. It is a good movie. 7 out of 10. Very good. Good. Definite. You'll enjoy it. Movies. The sequel, I watched half of it. I stopped watching it. It was so bad. But I can't put it on this list because I didn't even finish it. It was so terrible. I was watching part of it. It's and apparently they were filming it for theaters, and then they sold it to Netflix or something. I heard that, but it was so terrible. That movie was so bad. I did not see Freaky or Friday. I didn't watch that. Yeah, Smurfs movie. It looks so. My daughter and I were making fun of it. It looks so low budget for like an animated movie. It was an
They had
animated
a Smurfs
Smurfs movie. They had an animated Smurfs movie that came out in 2025. It looked terrible. The animation looked like TV quality animation.
I
Like
completely missed that.
yes, that came out. That's a real thing that exists. There was that movie Eddington about COVID that people nobody not many people watched. Um, oh, and they got another they got a couple of nominees on here, but I won't mention those yet. Uh, anything else that's like obvious, like that was terrible. But yeah, so those are a couple things that were pretty terrible, and I missed all of them. So I had to dig a little bit deeper to find, bad movies. So this was one of the ones that stood out to me. Is it might be more disappointment. It's hard to say, but it was just a movie that I've also like. I thought the production was not particularly good. Like there were things where like this is clearly soundstage. Like you're walking through the night. I'm like, this is soundstage. Like there's just stuff that I just thought the production quality wasn't that good, and it's very predictable in a lot of ways. I thought there were some plot non sequiturs. Like why is he doing this? Like it was a thing. It was a thing where he was hiding behind the bar in his truck, just kind of sitting there, and they see him like, what are you doing? Like, there's stuff like that was going on. That it's just very, very underwhelming movie to me. So it wasn't horrible. The action scene, I mean, it's Jason Statham. Any movie with him in it with some action scenes, it was so bad. But for a Jason Statham movie, it's definitely like if you rank all his movies, I think it's in like the lowest third of them at least. But yeah, so that's another of my nominees. But if you want some ones that are more unequivocal bad ones, here we go. We can go with Brave New World, one of the 4 worst Marvel movies ever made. One that seems like they somehow spent a lot of money, but also were cheap. They had very obvious sound stages for the White House, obvious green screen stuff for the White House, different other part of one part of the interior White House was a sound stage. The exterior looked worse. Remember the first Olympus Has Fallen? Remember Olympus Has Fallen? Some of the bad CGI they had in that. They had Olympus Has Fallen quality CGI in a 2025 Marvel movie. How are you doing that? How is your CGI that bad? And for some reason, they decided they want to make a pseudo sequel to the Incredible Hulk. Why are you doing this? No, it's a movie nobody wanted. I don't understand what the point of this movie was. It's just a terrible idea. They had the whole thing with suddenly like they needed to kind of create this secondary character to like be the new Captain America's buddy. This is dude that was like in the beginning of the movie, he's on some mission and he's throwing quips back and forth with this dude in the bass on the microphone. I'm like, who is this guy? It's just some dude. And apparently they're trying to turn him into his new like sidekick, his new like his Bucky. But it was very manufactured, and it's just a bad movie. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I think you could agree. If I had to, we're doing bottom 5. If there was a bottom 1 movie, if I had to nominate one movie to delete, I think this is the one movie. This is no reason for this to exist. This is wasted people's time. And what's his face? The black dude, the Captain America. It ruined his chance to have any more Captain America movies. He's got to get no more movies because of this. That's ruined. This movie.
Oh yeah, they're bringing back what's his face for the new Avengers movie.
Yeah, so that's done. Like this is one shot, and they did this. So let's delete this movie, man. This doesn't need to exist. For several, that's the thing. That's why I like saying it this way: remove the movies, because sometimes you can remove a movie for several reasons. Because it's just that bad. Because maybe it's a long movie, and it's just like you're so disgusted by it, or it ruined a potential for a better movie, like sequels. Like I already have Scream 7 as a nominee for next year, as a wasted opportunity. This is a wasted opportunity. It's a Marvel movie. There's no reason to ever have a terrible Marvel movie. It's not rocket science. It's superhero movies. It's not rocket science. There's no reason you should have, the worst possible superhero movie would be like Iron Man 3, where it's like you have this hero's journey. Maybe it's a little convoluted. Maybe the action scenes aren't the best done, but it's still okay, right? That should be your baseline for a superhero movie. You shouldn't be through the floor. It shouldn't be bad special effects, bad plotting, everything is super predictable and silly. There's no reason for a movie to ever be this bad. It's just for a Marvel movie to ever be this bad, because you got too many things that are coming right to you. And they had complete cast. I think Giancarlo Esposito played like a mercenary or something. That was like the only decent scene was when he fights Captain America. That's the only thing I would take away from this movie that's really of any value is that. They tried to do something with the original Captain America, but that didn't really work. And then they had the thing with Winter Soldier in Congress, but I think they threw that away already with Thunderbolt. So I don't what they're going with that. I think they kind of come out of the blue and then go nowhere. So yeah, pretty much it's just the one battle is the only thing that's worth anything in this movie. The rest of it's just, and they had to recast Thunderbolt Ross because the actor passed away. That was unfortunate. But yeah, no, this movie's hideous.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really expect it to be good.
The trailer did not look good, so I wasn't. It wasn't surprising. I wasn't watching like, well, I don't believe they messed this up. It was like one of those movies that within like the first 20 minutes or so, you're like, this is gonna be really, really bad. It's one of those. So it wasn't shocking. It was like it started off kind of mediocre, and then once you kind of realize what the plot is, you're like, and then the third act is just, that's there you go. So it was just kind of a roller coaster, just going straight down. Was this movie? But yeah, you're right. It was one of those things where like I had hope just because I really wanted Anthony Mackie to have a be in a good movie. I was really rooting for that. But this is down there with Love and Thunder and Eternals, which some people like somehow, but I don't understand. I guess it's because it was trying to do something. I find it almost unwatchable. But it's down there with those. It's just something that I'm like, oh man, I don't. And I guess the only Marvel movie. Oh, no, it's not a Marvel movie. I was gonna say Miss Marvel, but that's that Sony universe thing. That's a Sony universe. That doesn't count. No. I know what it is. The Marvels. That's the fourth one. That's the four trash can Marvel movies. It's the Marvels, Love and Thunder, this one, and Eternals. And I'll say this. The Marvels, at least, it was stupid and a total mess, but there was a little more redeeming about it. It was just in other ways obnoxiously not good that kind of pull it down. Because I like the girl that plays Miss Marvel, like the Indian actress that plays like the younger Miss Marvel. She's kind of cool. So there were things that were likable about it. It's just there were other things that were quite terrible. And whatever. Whereas like Love and Thunder was a total nightmare, and Eternals was just almost unbearable to sit through for me. I just wasn't into it at all. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like any of it. I was like, I don't like this. And of course, it had. I wonder if Eternals is gonna ultimately be known for the only movie to feature the voice of Mahershala Ali as Blade. Because right at the end, he says something to the night dude. I can't remember, the British dude. He said something to him, like, "You ready to do this?" or something, and it's Mahershala Ali as Blade. And that may be because now Mahershala Ali is now like 52 years old. When he first was announced to play Blade, he was 45. And everything else that's come out, it was like one of those online YouTubers mentioned this. The only thing else that was announced with Blade it's the only thing that was announced that has not come out. There's a slew of announcements like 7 years ago. Everything else has come out except Blade, which hasn't even filmed yet. They don't have a script. It's nowhere. So best case, he's 53 years old starting a franchise. Whereas, say, for example, who played Iron Man again? What's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, for some reason I had Rodney Dangerfield stuck in my head. Robert Downey Jr., which I know is not him. I get no respect,
The school days. Back to school.
Back to school.
He was in that movie.
Yes, the Kennison playing the Vietnam veteran professor, which I knew was. It's funny. Look at that movie now. I could tell they just want to put Sam Kinison in the movie. It has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. No effect at all in the plot or anything. They were just like, we just have a scene with some professors. Why don't we get Sam Kinison to play a Vietnam veteran and have him yell at Rodney Dangerfield? And it kills, but it's clearly not an important part of the movie. It's just thrown in there. Anyway, so Robert Downey Jr. was like 38 when he started as Iron Man or something. He's in his 30s. when he started as Iron Man. He's like 50 something now, or he's 58 now or something. But he was like, that was, he started as Iron Man, was it 2008? That's what, 16 years ago? Or 17, 18 years ago.
He was
so
38?
He was like,
oh, God.
Or he's like 38 to 40, something like that. Because he's like, I think he's 58 now. So he played Iron Man the first time, like in 2008, right? So that would be
like, yeah, because he's been around like since the early mid 80s.
Well, think about it. If you're 60, let's say you're 60 years old. If he's 60 years old, that means he was born in 1966.
65, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like in the 80s, he was like in the early 20s. It was like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise in his first movie was like 21 years old. You think because think about it, Tom Cruise has been acting our entire lives. It's because he got started early. He was in risky business. He was like 20, 21 years old.
Actually, I think his first film, I think, was like Taps. I think he was like 19.
Well, yeah, I mean, even before that, he was in Taps. I'm just saying, I'm thinking about like a movie that made him like a star. But yeah, he's been acting since basically, same thing with Robert Downey Jr. He's been acting since he was a teenager.
Yeah, well, he's second generation, so he's pretty much his whole life. So
it's funny, I have never seen his father in anything. I've never seen Robert Downey Sr. in anything.
He directed Putney Swope.
What? He directed what?
I don't know if I know you never heard of that, but it was a pretty good film about African Americans in marketing in the 70s. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
His dad was kind of the P.T. Anderson of the 70s, pretty much.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, okay, cool. All right. That's one of those interesting things on a totally unrelated note about the documentary about Charlie Sheen was how he came up with Sean Penn and like one or two other actors. They were all doing like films with each other and stuff as kids. And they all ended up being actors in Hollywood. I can't remember. They also said that one of the bad influences on him was Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely were like, he fell in with Nicolas Cage, who was nuts and doing nutty stuff. And it kind of, that was not a good influence on Charlie.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is one of those guys that he does a lot of. He's like the guy who speeds 100 miles an hour on the highway but doesn't get tickets.
Yeah.
He's just like, because I heard stories about. I'm like, how did that not come out? Or how's he not in prison or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let me go to one of yours. Another one of yours. Here we go. Tron Ares. A Lawrence nominee. Again, one of the terrible movies that I dodged this year.
Oh, you didn't see this?
Yeah, his trailers look terrible, dude. I almost saw it, but my daughter was almost like talking me out of it. She was like, that movie's not good. You do something else. Don't waste your time with that. Go do something else. I mean, you see Jared Leto in some Get Up, run. Just like with the what you call it? The new movie coming out, Master of the Universe. Jared Leto with Skeletor, run. It's not gonna go good. It's not gonna go good for you. It's not. Run. Go the other direction. Jared Leto as Ares, nah. Go the other way. What's the last good movie Jared Leto was in? The last good movie. Like, oh man, wasn't it like the Dallas Buyers Club or something like 20 years ago?
Let me look.
What was the last Jared? He was in Morbius. He was in this Tron Ares. He was in Suicide Squad. He was in some bad stuff. He's always his fault. Like Suicide Squad, he's in 2 scenes. It's not his fault. The problem with Suicide Squad, the first one, was the plot was stupid. People didn't like his Joker, but he was a side character. He had like
funny. He's in Master of the Universe.
I know he's Skeletor. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's a terrible sign. The Master of the Universe, I was hopeful for it first. I saw the trailer. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, it was 2013. Yeah,
Dallas Buyers Club. Basically, the movie that made him was the only movie he's been in. And he wasn't even that good in it, dude. He was okay. Yeah. He wasn't even that good. He may be the most overrated actor in the last 10, 15 years. He had basically one good role, and he's just been hamming it up ever since in bad movies. And the thing is, I don't actually think he's a bad actor, but I also don't think he has almost any charisma, and he's not that good he's not Daniel Day-Lewis, and he has no charisma. So I mean, I don't know why people keep hiring this guy. I don't understand. Like he's kind of like he's interesting. Like they want to hire him because he's kind of kooky.
He's got a
But
good
like,
agent.
he's got a good agent, I guess, man. But you can still say, I was just guessing. I mean, what's he been in like 10 movies since then or something? And they're all terrible.
Since Dallas Buyers Club, Suicide, he played the Joker, Suicide Squad. He was in Blade Runner. I believe it's the same director as Tron. I have to see, but
No, Blade Runner 2049 was
Liverpool.
what you call it, was dude from Dune.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
That's Dune guy. Yeah, no, he got lucky in that. No, that's true. He was in Dune. I'm sorry, he was in Blade Runner, which I
Little
thought was.
things. What is this?
Oh yeah, that's a terrible. Oh yeah, that was a terrible movie with Denzel and Rami Malek. It's supposed to be like a cop suspense thriller movie, but it's not. It's not good. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't work. It doesn't. The drama doesn't work. The writer had an idea, but they needed more drafts. It just doesn't come together right. It doesn't.
Well, they made the movie from the first draft.
Kind of maybe. It's not even that. It's more so like what they did just didn't work. Like they just needed to figure it out more. It's not because to me when I say a movie, they moved the first draft. When there are a lot of plot errors and bad dialogue, it's not even that. It's like what the type of story they wanted to tell wasn't quite the right story. I feel like the writer, just what they chose, the way they chose to wire in the drama of it, didn't work for the story. It didn't work for the basic premise they were going for. Like if you ever saw it, you would see, oh, okay, that was the idea, but the drama they layered on top of the idea wasn't to me the right drama. It just, it just doesn't work. It may be my least favorite Denzel movie ever. It may be if I rank all Denzel Washington movies, I think that might be the bottom one. Like I don't know if there's a worse Denzel Washington movie ever. I mean, even the one with Russell Crowe as the AI, I think that's better. I think that's better. No, that's better.
Really?
Virtual Man or whatever it is.
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity. I think I take Virtuosity over it. Absolutely. Because at least he's good in Virtuosity.
Oh man, I think he just snatched his paycheck and ran. I don't know.
No. It's pretty bad. Virtuosity's down there. I mean, that's a good by you to like come up with something close to it. You're right. That's not a good movie. Like I saw it recently, like, wow, this is terrible. So I only saw it once when I was like 19 or 18 or something. But I that is a pretty bad one. So Denzel movie. So he had that one. What else? He had Little Things. What else?
Well, Justice League was playing the Joker again.
Oh yeah, they have a cameo. Yeah. Still didn't help, but yeah.
Morbius. I haven't seen that yet. Actually, that's in my library too.
It's actually not as bad as people like to make fun of it. It kind of, to me, I think this movie falls apart. Third act, I think, kills it. It's not that good, but I didn't think it was horrible. I think it's overly hated just because it's fun to make fun of it because it's not good. But
Haunted Mansion. What do you do in Haunted Mansion?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was terrible. I didn't see that though. That's probably that one with Eddie Murphy and Jack Black or something.
Well, that was the original. This is the remake with Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, that one, Lakeith Stanfield was the black dude in that one. That's right.
Tiffany Haddish. I don't like it already.
She's also a bad sign. That's true. Tiffany Haddish. Uh-oh. It's not even because she's particularly bad. I mean, I heard she kind of carried Girls Trip, but I think people kind of grab her. We need a kooky black girl. Needs to grab her. Like it's like lazy casting or something. Like she needs stuff that's written for her or something. I think they just kind of grab her and throw her into stuff, and then they're okay. Do Tiffany Haddish stuff like in I think something Night School. I think was kind of like that. She didn't have a lot. I think she didn't have a lot to do in Night School. I think kind of wasted her in that one. I think.
But anyway, we're supposed to talk Sean Aries.
Yeah, Sean Aries, man. Yeah,
the action scenes in this movie are atrocious.
Really, because they look really good. The trailer, they look so cool. The special effects.
They're terrible.
Actually,
the funny thing, his character is actually written very well. I see what the themes were behind it. His acting was actually, it's funny to say, but his acting was the best thing about the movie.
Wow.
It wasn't great, but it was, again, it was written well, but it just wasn't executed. The action scenes are just horrible. And somebody said something stupid on they said that the critics didn't get it. See, apparently Ares is supposed to be Tron
What?
reprogrammed, but you don't have to understand that for the movie to be good. I'm like, why does that hinge on how well you like the movie or not? The movie was terrible. But
Remind me, because I get confused. Which person is Tron? Like in the original movie Tron, Tron is who? The digital version of the main character that gets beamed in there? Is that Tron? Who
well,
is Tron?
Jeff Bridges is actually the main character. Tron was the program that he wrote to for a defense against the virus that was created by the owner of the company.
Oh, so when he's beamed in there though, is that him or is that Tron in there?
That's him, but
And
he
so
meets
Tron
Tron
is
while he's in there.
so Tron is with him in Tron.
Yeah,
Tron's a different dude, and so he fights with Tron against the bad guy.
yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because Tron is the main character. He's the program that was written by the guy who still works for the company.
Oh, okay. So Jeff Bridges is the programmer.
Let me get his name.
Who plays Tron?
Let me look that up.
And who plays Tron?
That was the guy who was in Babylon. I keep forgetting his name.
Oh.
Bruce Boxleitner.
Oh, that dude. That's right. That's dude from Babylon 5. Yeah, he said Babylon in Babylon 5. Okay, yeah, Bruce Boxleitner. Okay. So he's Tron. Okay. All right. Because yeah, honestly, dude, I haven't seen, dude, I probably haven't watched Tron in, I don't know, man, 20 years? 25 years or something? I haven't watched it in so long.
Now, the thing is, Tron Legacy wasn't very good, but there's some good things about it. But Tron he's captured and reprogrammed, and he has no bearing on the story. He's like a henchman for the Jeff Bridges villain version.
Why is Jeff Bridges a villain in Tron Legacy?
He copied himself so he could build his grid, but he gets corrupt because he's like, he tries to build a perfect system, and he says, well, you got to do this A, B, and C to be perfect, but they're all perceived as evil. And then by the time his son gets in the grid, he's just like full-blown, Darth Vader. Just
So Jeff Bridges, the human Jeff Bridges, has, I guess, passed away by that point.
No, he's still in the he's a good guy, but he's hiding.
Oh, that's right. Because in Tron Legacy, there's two Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
There's him, and then there's
the evil Jeff Bridges that he created that built the grid, but he runs the grid basically, but he's corrupt and evil. And his whole point is to get out of the grid into the real world, which is basically what they did in Tron Ares, but he didn't accomplish it in the second one. So Tron Ares, they actually they get into the real world because it all makes sense if you watch it. But like Dillinger from the first one, his grandson builds his own grid.
Oh no, the different grids. Oh no,
yeah,
no.
So
right, so Ares is Tron, Bruce Boxleitner, reprogrammed.
Well, that's a theory.
But I thought you said okay.
That was one guy's theory.
So what is Ares on the surface, based on just watching the movie? What does Ares have to do with Tron Legacy?
Ares.
Is there any reference to Tron Legacy? Is Jeff Bridges in the movie?
He doesn't have any bearing on the legacy, but in Ares, he's the soldier in the Dillinger grid that can come into the real world.
So is there any connection to Legacy at all?
There is, but
on the surface, not deep. But I'm saying, is there anything like, if I'm a regular dude that just watched Legacy and then I go and watch Ares the next day, I'm not going to say, oh, that's the same character, or oh, they continued that from this movie. Is there anything obvious, but as a layman viewer would look at Tron Ares and say, oh, they carried that. That's how that carried over from Legacy, or is it more like, well, if you look at it this way and this theory and this, that's fine, that's fun, that's movies. But I'm talking about that was clear that the writers and directors of this movie said we want to continue Legacy in this way.
Well, that was one of my problems with it.
Well, that's not good.
It references characters from Legacy.
References characters. Okay.
Really doesn't have anything to do. Let's say you don't need to see Legacy to see Tron Ares. You got to see the first one, but you don't have to see. They're supposed to be doing another one. Well, if they get a chance to, because this one's terrible. But if they do another,
that's a funny idea. If they want to do another one, like, do they now? Isn't that cute?
Apparently, they're supposed to tie everything together. Because in Legacy,
we'll make it all make sense. We'll make all the movies good. We'll make another movie that will retroactively make Legacy and Ares better movies. All right.
But Olivia Wilde's character in Legacy, she's a program brought into the real world at the end of the movie. And she's apparently supposed to be the bridge between the real world and the grid. And she's supposed to cure all these diseases and all that crap. But she's not in Ares. They just have a picture of her. They just reference a picture of her in the movie.
Here you go.
And that's it.
We're bringing her. She's in the main. They found a framed photo of her and say, "We're going to bring her into the real world."
That's the thing. I'm like, because she was supposed to come into real world, and he was like, "Oh, she's the bridge. She'll be able to cure diseases and all this and this and that." And then they make no reference of her in Tron Ares.
That's horrible, man. That's so horrible.
It's just like what? Okay, what? Where are they? Where's the sun? Where's all this? That? And we wait to the end of the movie. And they have pictures of them.
Okay, let me ask you this about Tron. I love talking about this because I don't think we talked about Tron Ares. Let me ask you this: in the first act of Tron Ares, what happens that connects Tron to Ares to the other movies? Like what? Like this is a sequel. What happens in the first act that makes me care what's going on?
Well,
because I watch Tron. It's about Bruce Boxleitner, Tron, and Jeff Bridges, who's whatever his character's name is. Call him Jeff Bridges. And the second one, we see his son, and his son is goes into the thing, looking for his dad too, because his dad's in there, and to stuff, and he goes on his adventure, and he meets Olivia Wilde, and they have a connection and stuff. That's that movie. And this movie opens, and the son's not in it. The son in it? No. Olivia Wilde, all it's her is a photograph of her. She's not in it. Why is this a Tron movie? This could just be like Zelda Ares or something. I mean, some other. What does this have to do with Tron? Besides the fact that they like the how the Tron vehicles look, how they're glowing and look like blocks. Besides the artistic art direction, is the only connection to the other movies the art direction of the other Tron movies. Is that it?
Well, they do go back into the original grid. And he turns blue.
The original grid isn't a character. It's just a place. So they go back to the original grid. Who? Why? Who is because Ares is a program. Okay. It seems like Ares was the main character. Is Ares the main character?
Yeah. This is the trick. Ares can come into the real world, but he only lasts 29 minutes.
Why do I care about that?
So
why do I care about Ares?
He's a super soldier who can do all these awesome things, but it's only for 29 minutes.
How does he save the cat? That's all. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The lady who now runs Enron, her and her partner, the comedian, your boy,
Hassan Minhaj.
Hassan Minhaj. Okay,
her boy,
running Enron.
Her boy, Hassan Minhaj. Go ahead.
and they're looking for the key for him to last longer than 29 minutes.
Why
Apparently,
do I care if he lasts more than 29 minutes? Why do I care about Aries?
you're supposed to care because the name of the movie is Tron Aries. You're supposed to care. But
because it's played by Jared Leto.
But this is the thing that they don't talk about in the original movie. The secret for him to stay in the real world is in the original grid. Does that make sense?
I mean, sure, why not? I'm just saying.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges has he knows the secret for him to stay alive in the real world.
Jeff Bridges knows it.
Yeah.
Okay. I still don't know why I care about
in the original films.
I mean, hey, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, he invented all this stuff, so why not? But I'm just, you know, I think that's probably the problem is like, who is Aries? I don't care. It's Jared Leto. I don't.
Now, my thing is,
it makes me want to dislike him, honestly. But go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how, if that's the case, how does Olivia Wilde live in the real world? Does she know? Does she have the secret thing that they're looking for in the Dillinger Grid?
I mean, I think
if that's so, why is she in the movie? Why wouldn't he be looking for her? Hey, I need to know how you survived in the real world. You're a program.
To be
fair, they could have done that. That's what I was thinking. Like, why are they not trying to find Olivia Wilde for the secret to last more than 29 minutes?
See, that's okay, because you're right. Because in the second movie, right, they drive off happily ever after. The second
that would have made sense. I'm like, I would have bought that. Okay, you're looking for where is she? Like, it's like looking for Luke Skywalker. It's like, okay, where is she? We need to find her for the secret. But they're like, no, they don't make any reference toward her. Do you know that there's a living program already in the world? Do you want to find her and see how she survived?
And of course, the problem is too is they retconned that into the thing, because in the original and in the sequel, there didn't seem to be any time limit because he just takes her out. He just at the end of the Legacy, just like, come on out. And she comes out and they go out. There's no secret. But they had to create a plot device for this movie to like for this thing. But like again, that's why it gets me is like I don't know why Ares, this red colored super soldier who seems to be chopping police cars in half and causing all kind of mayhem. Why would you be rooting for this guy to be able to stay in the real world longer? Doesn't seem like we want that. You seem like you want quite the contrary. So I don't know. I'm a little bit don't quite understand how that makes any sense. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Save the cat. Like, why do I care about Ares? Right. That's to me the problem is that you've got this thing. Like I thought the main character might be the black woman cop or something. That you have a real person that's watching this stuff, and that and maybe she meets Ares, and whatever. But if it's just Ares, I don't understand why Ares is. I think that's what I don't get, and he doesn't seem to be in connection really to anybody else. I mean, as I said, the theory is that he's Tron reprogrammed. That's cute, but it doesn't really make him likable. It doesn't make me care. Like, because Tron ended up as a bad guy in the second one because he got reprogrammed already. So even if it is Tron, it doesn't matter. He's just a program that got manipulated in a previous movie. So he's not even played by Bruce Boxleitner. Actually, wasn't Bruce Boxleitner playing the new boss of the company in Legacy? Didn't he do that? Wasn't that Bruce Boxleitner?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
Because he's the one who tells his Jeff Bridges' son about the message that came out.
Yeah,
that he thought it was from his father, but it's actually from the fake Jeff Bridges.
It's from the fake one. Yeah, that's right.
The second one, see, that's the thing. Tron Legacy at least made sense.
Yes,
because the bad Jeff Bridges sends a message. I'm gonna make him think that it came from his dad because I'm gonna bring him into the world so the portal can open so I can go into the real world. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Tron Ares doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't tie into that one.
I kind of want to watch now because it seems so terrible that I want to watch it. That's what I think now. He seems so bad.
No, you want it to make sense. That's what the thing is.
No, I want to understand, like, because I know they were trying to do something. Like, that's the thing about movies. I like to say this occasionally. Nobody sets out to make a bad movie generally. The worst you usually get is apathy, where people are not too many people involved in the movie all don't care and are there just for a paycheck. And you get movies that are, poor for that reason because the actors are checked out and the director is checked out and the screenwriter just wrote one draft and said, "Here, give me my paycheck." And so you get movies that are pretty poor in that situation. That happens, right? But usually, I would say 75% of movies, the director at least is trying to make a good movie. At least 75% of the time. They're out there and they really believe that they've got a good movie. Now, there's a lot of things about directors getting hired. Sometimes they get hired for jobs and they don't really care. This interesting ties into, I recently have started watching the Hunger Games series with my daughter. The first movie is not good. And it's not good in part because the directing isn't good. The actors don't give good performances. The thing was, and it was the script, the screenplay was co-written by the novelist. That's not a good sign. It's a different medium. You might as well have a painter write a screenplay. It's not the same type of thing. And you can kind of tell the dialogue's flat, as I said that. But to me, the director, he probably said, "This is just some lark. I'm gonna get this movie. I'm gonna do it. That's fine." But I don't think I'm making Macbeth here or what's the one Orson Welles did?
Othello?
Oh, no, Othello. No. Orson Welles is Citizen Kane. I don't think the director of the first Hunger Games thinks he's making Citizen Kane, right? So he's going to go through the numbers, but he don't really care, right? But you're the Tron Ares. I suspect part of it is that whoever you hired or directed probably was like just happy to get a check, and it's not that. There's not that whatever about the movie. The problem is if that's the case, and the screenwriter was in the same feeling, you've got all your source material is iffy. And then the director is just like, whatever. What's the script say? Just film that. That's probably what happened with this movie, which is you had both the screenwriter and a director that didn't really care how the movie came out. They're just getting paychecks. And then the actors, each of them is looking at it, and if the script is bad enough, they're like, "Okay, this is terrible. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm trying to make this real," So you get that. And so honestly, at that point, if the screenwriter and director are out of it, the actors can try as hard as they want. The movie's going to be terrible because it's a director's medium, and the screenwriter writes the skeleton of the story. So if those things are mangled, you're out of luck. There's no amount of meat on the bones going to fix a mess up skeleton. You're just out of luck. The director can kind of fix it, but if they're checked out, they can't fix it either. You're out of luck there. So but the thing about it is, it's interesting to watch a movie to try to figure out what were they trying to do. Now, on a related note, there was, I remember I read the screenplay, the original Colin, what's his name of that director? The original director of Return of Skywalkers or Revenge of the Skywalker, what was it called?
Skywalker Return.
The Rise of Skywalker. Colin Trevorrow, that's his name. It's always like Tomorrow to me. His name is Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow wrote the original script for that, and I read it. And after I read it, I'm like, oh, that's why this was in the movie. Because what they did was they kept on taking his script and rewriting it over and over again, like Telephone. And so you see stuff in it, even things that are like, well, it seems like what's the black character named Poe? All these characters with one name, Poe. Poe and Ray and Jib and Zap and Poop.
Well,
all these different.
They're not very good at coming up names. Luke Skywalker's cool, but I mean, really, Han Solo.
Still, dude, it's better than Poe. He named a black character Poe. You're wrong for that. Meanwhile, of course, he didn't even write. Not like George Lucas wrote the screenplay for Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams did. And I guess it's easier to remember one-syllable names. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. But it's funny. I think about that Poe and Ray and who was the other one? Oh, I'm sorry. Poe was the pilot. Who was the black dude? I can't remember. Finn. Poe, Finn, and Ray. So Finn, you know how at one point in the movie, Finn is like, in case we die, Ray, there's something I need to tell you. and then later on he's macking on some other chick. You're like, what's going on here? Like, I thought he was about to say he loved her, but it's just like it's because there was like they're different. They just had these different versions of the script. So the script got telephoned into something else, and then stuff got left in from like the
relationship script. They just dropped from the third one.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Finn was backing on the Asian girl from the second movie, and she's long forgotten. It's just same with like Poe and Ray. That was a thing, and then that in this one, that's pretty much gone. But that was a thing. It was every movie different. They changed. It was like they just took. It was like they took every new movie. They just threw all the pieces out like supposedly threw them out on the floor and just reconnect them. They want. So anyway, that's
yeah. I don't care what the original director wrote.
That's a production, including Kathleen Kennedy's fault for like not enforcing an actual concise story. Because really, they should have had from J.J. Abrams. He laid out the stuff. I figure he probably didn't write a whole lot. They should have been like, write down where you think these things are going for the other screenwriters, and made them follow it. Instead, it was like, okay, J.J. Abrams wrote the first one. Now, Ryan Johnson, interpret it however you want, and then you interpret it how you want, do whatever you want, and then after you're done, now Colin Trevorrow, here's the script. We don't even have here's the completed film. Now you can interpret these two movies whatever you want. Like that's like a reverse. Like you should have, if Colin Trevorrow was the least important person, you have him write the first one. Because the third one, you have to know what you're getting going for. That's the most important thing for trilogy is where are you going? And they were just focused on where you're at first, and like we'll figure that out tomorrow. And that's that's what messed that up. But I very seriously digress. The point is now I want to see Tron Ares. I'm curious to watch it. Be like, what were they trying to do? Because I do believe that when some screenwriter sat down and wrote the script for Tron Ares, they had an idea for what they wanted to do. Now that could have been co-opted by the producers. They said, we don't like the ending of your story, screenwriter. We'll get another person to touch it up, or can you change this and change that? And writers can be like, all right, F it. I'm just gonna hope you're happy. And they check out, they just kind of say whatever they want. Or it could be they went to the director and they said, oh, I like this thing, let's make this longer, or I like it, and the director can do what they want to do. It's Disney, it's probably the producers that got in the mix. I have to think there was a good original screenplay. To me, when for something like this that's been in turnaround for so long, I mean, they've been trying to make a sequel to Tron Legacy for like 10 years. I have to feel like there was a decent screenplay there, at least at some point, that got mangled by the process. I can't imagine, because they've been rejecting scripts. It's like if the Blade comes out and it sucks. Like, well, why didn't you use one of the other scripts? There's been like 2 or 3 scripts written for Blade that have just gone nowhere. Like at this point, but what I fear is that they throw stuff away, and then they get a new director, and then they're like, okay, screenwriter, hurry up. We need it right now. Quick. That's the wrong way to do it. You should be like taking your time with the script. That's your structure. And then you can go around, find directors and stuff. But it seems like it oftentimes works in reverse. They get everything set together and like, oh yeah, now we need a screenplay. Like, and that's when you get bad movies.
The Scream 3, yeah. Just write the screenplay during the filming, yes.
Yeah. Or like Scream 7, which is we have the actors, the director, everything. Oh no, she's fired. Oh no, she's leaving now. Oh, the director doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, well, we go ahead and light this script on fire. Okay, we need a new script in like a month. We need to start filming next month. All right, Kevin Williamson, churn something out for us. And that's what you get. You get Scream 7. Because I think that was done under I think that script was written under duress. It was like, okay, we need this ASAP. We have whatever. So I think 6 did well. So we need to get this going. And they just, I wish it's surprising to me that people fail to learn a lesson that it's like it's worse no movie is better than a bad movie. Because a bad movie you got to pay for advertising for it and all that stuff to whatever. So it's not just the money you sink in the movie. Now we got to put Ghostface on the side of buses for all around. It all burns down, which has nothing to do with the movie. The fire is in the teaser. There's no other fires in the movie. It's just They're just spitballing, man. They don't, whatever. They're just spitballing. They don't know what they're doing. Anyway, I'll probably see Aries, just a morbid curiosity. All right, here's another one. So did you ever see Mickey 17?
I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Yeah, don't rush. It's one of those movies that's artistically interesting, but I did not enjoy watching it, and it's kind of goofy. The tone is a little bit all over the place. It's got a Korean director, I believe, and I don't know. I think his sensibilities are a little bit. I think he was sincerely trying. Like, this is a movie that I think this movie is what the director wanted to be. I just didn't like it very much. Now, bottom 5 is kind of tough, but again, it's not a terrible movie. I just didn't really like it. I think this Lauren was actually my daughter suggested. We saw it together. And there's moments where it's interesting. Like, it's really, it's a movie that I can see people liking. It's just,
the budget was 118 million.
Oh yeah, it's expensive. It looks expensive too. Even though there are some stuff that looks like soundstage stuff, but I can see they spent a lot of money on it. There's some nice looking stuff in it. They spent some money on it, and I think it bombed. I don't think it made $100 million.
It made it back, but I'm pretty sure
that's not
118 million. You're expecting 300 million.
Yeah.
At least
it's too kooky for something. That's the thing. Something like this, you read the script and be like, this isn't making but so much money because it's out there. It's a weird movie. They got Mark Ruffalo's in it playing some like Trumpish kind of like chief executive and stuff. It's a weird movie. It's not something that's like, oh, this is a straightforward, sci-fi drama or something. No, this is some kooky, weird, kind of artisan kind of movie that you might like, you might not, but I was not keen on it. So that's why I made my list, because like I'm never watching again, and I'm not really. If it didn't exist, I wouldn't really mind. All right, moving on. Anaconda, starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd, and I feel like. So go ahead.
I don't see the point to this movie.
Okay, it's a comedy.
All the movies to remake, you make.
Okay, so here was the clever idea they had for Anaconda. The idea was we want to do a remake of Anaconda, but frame it as a story about two people that are trying to film a remake to Anaconda. Boom, mind blown. Isn't your mind blown, Lawrence? That was the idea for this movie. So what you get is you actually get a silly remake of Anaconda that pretends to be a farce about guys trying to film in the Brazilian rainforest. I believe it's South America. Yeah. So the movie you're watching, the trailer movie, isn't the movie. The movie you're watching is basically the first half of the second act, the fun and games of the movie, where they're trying to film their Anaconda movie. But that's over with in like 5 scenes. And then it's just another Anaconda movie where they're trying to survive some creepy human beings doing bad stuff, as well as a scary, gigantic Anaconda. So has like one really good, hilarious scene in it. And it has a bunch of stuff that's not very funny and has some drama to it that's not very good. And it's just not very good. And it's clearly filmed entirely, I think, on sound stages. I don't think anything's on location. So it's like this whole movie, they're in the Brazilian rainforest, but it's all like, I think they filmed it like in like water with blue screen, or it's all faked. Like all the scenes with dialogue and stuff. They might have shot some on location, like establishing shots, but the whole movie's like sound stages. Like even the real one looked like it was really like in the Amazon. This one's all like sound staged. It's like a Netflix movie where it's like all clearly sound staged. And it's not very good. It's again, it's not horrible. It's not, a disaster. It's not very good. It's just kind of, I almost recommend like watching it. It would make actually a decent Netflix movie to like watch second screening. So like scrolling like Instagram and like watching it in the background. And if something catches your eye, maybe watch it and then go back to scrolling Instagram. That's about what it's suitable, because it has a couple one really good moment, one hilarious movie, which is one hilarious scene that saves the whole movie. from being a total waste. In the West, the movie is otherwise, for the most part, a total waste. But here's the thing, like I was talking about before, this movie, I actually think they were really trying to make a good movie. It just isn't. They were really trying, though, Lawrence. It just doesn't come out very well. Because they didn't have the budget for it, and it's not a particularly good idea, and it's not a particularly good script.
Oh, well.
But that's what it is.
I
but it's
see
not,
it did.
It's not horrendous.
It made money, though. I mean, I'll give them that.
How much did it make?
Box office 135 million. That's usually worldwide.
Yeah, it must be worldwide.
I don't know what it did in America.
Man, I don't know. It seems like movies make 100 million easily now, man. I don't know. This movie was out for I feel like it was out for 2 weeks and disappeared. It came out like the 27th of December or something. It came out right at the end of the year. Like it was like an Oscar movie or something, but it's not. It came out like in December. December 13th. Yeah, it's kind of like slid in there in December, early December. By January, I couldn't see it anywhere because I like the trailers. It doesn't quite live up to the trailers. Again, it's kind of a bait and switch. It's the trailers make you think it's a movie about filming the fake Anaconda movie. It's not. It's a movie about two guys trying to do that and end up actually in a new Anaconda movie, which is a cute idea, but doesn't really work that well.
I mean, why? I mean, I understand Anaconda. It was a big surprise hit because the original one, nobody expected to do anything.
I mean, it's Ice Cube, J-Lo, and John Voight.
It became this cult classic.
Yes.
And it did like 20 sequels. Oh, terrible. But
yeah, I never saw any of it.
I don't see why they would choose Anaconda.
And the thing was, it wasn't actually that good. The original. It's okay. But I think people were expecting thought it would be terrible. So like it's actually decent. Yeah. It's one of those movies you go to this bad movie and like, wow, this is actually a decent movie.
Yeah, they thought it would bomb, but it was actually a big surprise.
Yeah. Also, Ice Cube, was low key a decent star at the time. It was right. It was like 95 or something. It was right. He'd done Boys in the Hood, Higher Learning. He had done some stuff, had some cachet. I think Friday may have come out. I think Friday had not come out yet. But it was like he was blowing up a little bit. So I think that helped too. And J-Lo, I probably had a lot of black viewers, honestly. Got J-Lo from Living Color. She just kind of started her music career yet? I'm not sure she even started yet at that point. Because early 90s. I don't think she was in Living Color anymore. But she may have had one album. I don't know. But anyway, I just think that they actually were a little bit hotter to the stars of it than they realized. All right, let me give you one. So this is one you put on here, although I semi co-sign it. It's pretty bad. And that is, I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. The one thing I'll say about this is the biggest issue I often see with slasher movies is the main characters are terrible. If you do that, then nobody cares what happens to them, and there's no tension in any of the scenes where the dangerous person is chasing them down. And that is exactly the problem I Know What You Did Last Summer had. The characters are generally not interesting. I don't really care what happens to them. And even though they're actually, I think, some decent set pieces, like the one with they showed the kind of giveaway in the trailer where they shoot the harpoon gun through the plate glass window. It's mostly wasted because the most interesting characters are the two from the original series, and that's not good. And I don't think we should give it away, but I did not like the ending. Your thoughts, Lawrence?
I thought it was terrible. The actors chosen were not at least they had good actors in the original.
We took them for granted, but it's like Ryan Philippe, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like they actually were decent. They weren't the bomb, but they were decent. They were compelling.
They were talented. None of these actors are. I can't even tell them apart. Actually.
Wait, which one is that? Who is that?
The second one. Like I'm like, what? Who was her again? I mean, then that was the other. I mean, besides the original actors, I was like, what? Who are these people? I don't care about them. And it's like, what? And that's the thing. I thought one was the other one. Then I got confused. I'm like, and I don't know. It just didn't. It just didn't resonate. I mean, at least the original one was entertaining, but it was another Kevin Williamson movie. He was coming off of. Actually, this is actually based. I didn't know it was actually the original was based on a book. It was based on a preteen book in the 70s, but
interesting.
At least that was entertaining, like kind of like Scream. But this one is like, again, it's another one. What's the point if you're not? I mean, no new stars coming from it.
Yeah. To me, honestly, I just thought about this. I think what they should have done. This is crazy because, I mean, I'll say this. It's in the universe of the other movies. And I'm like, they might as well have just done a movie, another sequel with the original Jennifer Love Hewitt and what's the dude's name with dark hair?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr., her, Brandy, and Homeboy. Was it Omar Epps? Was it Mekhi Phifer? I can't remember which one is it.
I think it was Mekhi Phifer.
Mekhi Phifer. Just have them four again in another sequel. I'd rather see that. I mean, all those actors are still alive. They put the two older two in this movie. Brandy and Mekhi Phifer, the younger people. Have them be in the thing. Actually, never mind. One of them is dead.
Mekhi Phifer died, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He got the thing in it.
Yeah, that's right. That's funny. I started watching. Like, here's the thing. I actually like the second one more than the first one. The first one to me is a little slow. I actually like the second one a little bit more than the first one because it's like a brief 90 minutes. Like, boom. It's just very sleek, whatever. It's nothing special about it. It's just a nice, trim 90-minute slasher movie. And I appreciate it for that. The first one, it's a little, because I think it's based on a book and there's all this exposition and stuff. It's a little slow. It's cool, but it's a little slow. So I actually enjoy watching the second one more than the first one. Even though the first one has a lot more to it. It has actually explanation.
Because the second one's not a murder mystery. The first one was kind of a mystery.
Exactly. The second one is no mystery to it.
You know what's going on. I mean, especially if you knew the capital of Brazil, which I didn't.
Right? I'll say this too. That's a cool like subtle detail. Like, honestly, of all the screenwriting for that movie, that's probably the most interesting thing that screenwriter did, whoever it was that wrote it, would have that be a little thing. If you caught that, you'd be like, what the?
It's funny because I think I was in the theater and somebody said it. It's like, that's not the capital person.
Yeah, somebody said the thing. You told me that. You told me it before. It was like, that's what are they talking about? And just probably mad at the movie. Like, y'all lying. That's the capital country, man. You want to make people think that's the capital because they don't know that later on it's revealed that it's not the capital. But they're probably in the movie like, what's going on here? They're lying about this country. They go, oh yeah, Jack Black is in the second one too, right? Playing the roster dude. That was like his big break, I think. That was like Jack Black's big break. Was playing like the obnoxious like Rastafari white dude. Like, hey man, wanted to buy some weed.
He's one of those characters. They're gonna get him.
They're gonna get him. But that's the thing. That's what I always say about slasher movies. You got to either love the characters or hate them. You got to be like rooting for them to get killed or afraid they're gonna get killed. If you don't care, then you're in trouble. And that was why I was watching this movie like, I don't know. I guess I don't want him to die. I mean, he's getting murdered, but that's not emotional. That's like, the right. It's not right for people to be killed by a giant fish hook. Like, but that's not. You want to care. Like, oh no, like be worried about them. If you're not worried about them, then there's a problem. And I'm not really worried about these characters because I think most of them come off. So I think they're like 4 or 5, and most of them come off as kind of obnoxious. Like only one of them I think has any charisma at all. Like you're like, oh, I hope they don't die. And the rest of them, you're just like, I guess they're not a bad person, And, I think they were actually trying to kind of make it. They were trying to do the mystery thing, but the thing about it is, you can't let that keep you from making the characters interesting. You have to always, and that's the when you're trying to do that, you can't. They're trying to do They were kind of trying to do the Scream thing, and which isn't even this movie because they said the 1st one had a mystery, but it wasn't one of the 4 teens. It was some other dude, right? and we're just figuring out how he came to be there and what his deal was. They were trying to make this like a Scream movie. Like, ooh, is it which one of the new teams? Is it like, that's Scream? Like that's hard to do because if you're doing that, you have to then try to make people do weird stuff that makes you possibly dislike them or whatever. You can't just have them be charismatic and interesting and like each other. You have to make them at odds and give people motives. And so they do that. The two people don't like each other. And when you're doing all that stuff, it sabotages, I think, the story. It can sabotage our interest in it because it's just squabbling teenagers. And even like that silly primate movie I watched in January about the crazy monkey, even that one I like the characters more than I like the ones in this. That was a better movie than I liked that. I enjoyed that one more than this one, even though that one was not very good. Because at least I had like the main 2 or 3 or 4 characters. They're on a flight. Like it doesn't even take long. In that movie in Primate, one of the first scenes you see is the people landing on the plane in Hawaii, and it's like 4 people, and even just their interactions in the scene where they're getting out of they're in their seats in the airplane, and one or two of them is flirting with some guys that are like 2 seats up, and then they get off the plane, they're walking out of the plane in the airport. Just that made them compelling. Like just those 2 scenes was enough to make you kind of like most of those characters. That's all it took. It's not rocket science. You don't have to have 40 minutes of exposition and a whole bunch of stuff just to make it. It doesn't take much to just make us like the characters and make them interested in what they're doing and give them subplots. Like they try to do. That's one thing that's funny about sometimes with slasher movies. You give these characters subplots and they get killed. Like, well, that subplot's over. But that's how you get us engaged with them. Is you give them subplots. That's why it's surprising when they die because that subplot's over. Because you think your movie brain thinks, oh, if there's some conflict, it'll later get resolved. When sometimes in slasher movie, the conflict resolved because 1 or 2 of the people's dead. And then whatever beef you have, I mean, that's kind of the deep truth of slasher movies. Like, be careful beefing with people because one of y'all might get a fish hook to the throat. And then all of this stuff is for naught. All this beef y'all got don't really matter anymore. And that's the thing about it. Like you could be mad at somebody or something. Like if they die tomorrow, would you still be mad at them? No, then why are you mad at them today? Because does it really matter that much? Does it really matter? That's the deep thing about slasher movies. Anyway, so this movie's terrible. This movie's bad ending, bad characters, bad writing. It's all bad. It shouldn't have made it. It's a nightmare. I think actually, I didn't originally. This was your nomination, but I think this is making my bottom 5. I think you're right. This movie should not exist. I agree with you. I'm with you on that. I don't know what I'm bumping, but that's getting in there.
All right, I think the cameo appearance from Leonard might have saved it.
From who?
You watch Big Bang Theory? Where Leonard was in the original. I think he was the first victim, actually. No, I'm just being silly.
Oh wait, Big Bang, the sitcom?
Yeah.
Oh okay. Okay. Yeah. I didn't watch that, so yeah, I'm not gonna get the reference. Yeah. I didn't watch it. That was a sitcom, but I was kind of burnt out sitcoms at points. I just never got into it. All right, here we go. So this is a weird RC movie I saw called Death of a Unicorn, starring the chick from Scream movies and Wednesday and Paul Rudd. And it's just not good. It's hard to even describe what kind of movie this is. This is a weird thing where Paul Rudd is playing this guy who is he's this guy. I think she plays his daughter, and they go up. He's going on his trip to meet some clients, and he's trying to kiss their butts to get their money. And he gets up there, and they wound. They think they kill and they wound the unicorn. It's not dead. I mean, you find it out within 10 minutes. And it starts this whole weird story of them trying to deal with these unicorns and that exist in this area of this mansion. It's a weird story that at its heart, it's trying to be a story about a relationship between a father and a daughter to some extent, but it doesn't really work. It's an interesting kind of movie. It just didn't work for me. But the father basically is kind of being a dick and trying to kind of sell out to get paid, and it's kind of his journey of trying to figure out how not to sell out and kind of be a man, kind of thing. And all of a sudden his daughter's kind of judging him for it, you know. There's stuff like that in it, but it just doesn't really work. It's weird. And the whole unicorn aspect of it is just strange. It's kind of like Mickey 17. It's those things that even worse though than Mickey 17. It just didn't work to me. It's one of those things that I could see somebody watching it and they just get it. They're just into it. I just wasn't.
But it doesn't look like a unicorn. It looks like a T-Rex.
Yeah, unicorns look like velociraptors. They don't look nice. The unicorns are not. That's one of the things like the turns that they're unicorns because they have like the, you know, the thing. But yeah, they're really like rabid horses. They're like something like that. Like they're not and they got nasty teeth like that and stuff. And they're whatever. It's wild.
Wow.
But it's a strange movie. Like I'd have to, you know, let me see. Let me see if they have like a thing in, because I feel bad because I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this movie. 2025 film. Yeah, The Father, I got that right. Yeah, Alex Schwartzman's directorial debut. They go on a retreat, they hit a unicorn on the road while on the way to the resort. And then there's some stuff about and they're trying to harvest the unicorn for like health benefits, and is that okay? And it gets like real supernatural. That's the thing too, is it starts off with kind of the stuff about the father and the daughter, and will he sell out, or will he kind of like stand up to, you know, his values and stuff. But then also there's stuff about the supernatural stuff with the unicorns. If they like, I think their horns are like cure cancer or something. And so there's something about that, and but it's a weird story, man. It's somebody snorts some of the unicorn's horn dust at some point. Let me see. And the unicorns are like chasing by. So here's that's what it is. So what happens is it starts off that way and it turns into like a slasher movie with the unicorns chase everybody and trying to murder everybody. That's what happens. That's right. That's what happens in the movie. So it's really a slasher movie. It's like this goofy kind of farcical slasher movie with the unicorns like gaffling people up. And this is one of those movies where they want you to like hate the people, so you're enjoying them getting mauled by the unicorns, by the feral unicorns. That's what they're going for. I have to tell you, that's the movie. I didn't really enjoy it very much. Oh, it was weird. It was kind of entertaining because the third act when they're mauling everybody is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But the first two acts, I'm like, what is this? What am I watching? That's what I feel like for like the first, I don't know, how long is this movie? I don't think it's that long. It's like 107 minutes. The first hour of it, you're like, what am I watching? I don't know what I'm watching here. And then they end up like, oh, it's a slasher movie. Okay. This is just a slasher movie. And that's just the setup so you can watch the unicorns maul people. Okay. There you go. Anyway, so that's Death of a Unicorn. Not very good, but you know, he had a few moments of the mauling stuff. It's kind of pleasant a little bit for some points. Or not say pleasant, probably not the right word, but you know, is enjoying in a slasher movie sense. All right, and our last nominee for worst movies of the year is Jurassic Park Rebirth, which, think about it, is I don't know what to tell you. Do explanation of the plot of a Jurassic Park movie. It's the same thing. There's of course it's in the continuity of Jurassic Park. I think it's like a bridge movie, like maybe they're gonna start a new trilogy or something. I don't know, but it's very much a by the numbers plot of we need to go get some object, we need to get some MacGuffin from these islands where there are roaming dinosaurs. And there's two plots. There's two stories. One story is there's a group that's supposed to go in, headed by Scarlett Johansson, ScarJo. The group led by ScarJo and Mahershala Ali are going to this island with dinosaurs to get this MacGuffin to like cure diseases or something. And then also there's this family who somehow boat their way into dinosaur territory and get crashed on the same Jurassic Island. And then over the course of the movie, eventually they link up while they're trying to dodge the dinosaurs that, of course, want to murder them. So I say kill them. I say murder because murder is funnier. But trying to kill them because they're animals. There's no malice. They're just food to them. But they're doing all this stuff, and what's going on with the phone? I think that's your phone. So that's the story. This is Jurassic Park movie, and it's straightforward. I think it's not as bad as the last one, which had like 12 leading cast members or something, all the original cast and all the new cast. We'll mash them all together. That was a total disaster. It's not. I don't think it's as bad as that, but it's not good. It is very mundane. Feels very Hollywood, very much like somebody hired. Who was the screenwriter for that? I'm curious who the screenwriter is because it was very by the numbers screenplay.
I think it was the same guy who did Lost World, wasn't it?
Actually, yeah, it's David. I want to say it might have been David Coeb. I was like disappointed. He's a good screenwriter, and he just smoked this one. He just shanked it. It's just not. It's like he just did it for the paycheck. It's not very interesting. Maybe he had a good script, and the producers like chopped it up in little bits and fed it to a dinosaur. Maybe that's what happened, but he didn't. It's not a good script. I'm surprised because he's written some. I think he wrote like Michael Clayton or something. He's written some good stuff. He wrote that movie, the paper with his brother. It's about like journalism and stuff. He's a good screenwriter. He just shanked this one. Again, I think he was probably hired. We want to do a Jurassic Park movie. Let's hire a screenwriter. Hey, David Koch, you want to make a Jurassic Park movie? Sure. What's it about? Some people have to go to the island to get these items from from a dinosaur, to get some dinosaur stuff from Dinosaur Island and come back to save the human race or to heal people. Okay, cool. Give me a couple weeks. Boop, here you go. That's what probably happened. And the thing is, he knows nobody cares about screenwriters. I do, because I look at credits and everything about stuff. Most people aren't gonna be like, "Who's the screenwriter?" Oh, Coeb, he's good. I'm gonna watch this now. Nobody does that, so he knows it ain't hurting him to take a check and write some mediocre movie. So that's what I think happened here, because this is not a good movie. I can't imagine he thought it was. It's possible. I don't know, but I don't think so. Because I know how good of movies he's made before. I don't think so. I don't think he's very good. So it's not horrible, but it's a waste. Marshall Ali is not good. I mean, none of the actors have particularly good performances. I said Marshall Ali's in it. Skojo's in it. Skojo's not a particularly good actress. She has her moments, though. This is not one of them. The dude who played Loki is in it, I think. The Loki guy in it. I think he's in it. What's his name? Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, I think, is in it. Is that the guy? Let me see. Jurassic Park Rebirth. And nobody even Googles that. Like, it's not even wanting to do it. Okay. Nah, it's either Jonathan Bailey or Rupert Friend. It's not Tom Hiddleston. Anyway, the guy plays a scientist. He's okay. But oh wow. So Steven Spielberg recruited Coeb to help him develop a new installment of the series. So he co-wrote the original and its original sequel. That's a shame. But then Gareth Edwards directed. I don't know. It's just not a very good story. I don't know what to tell you. I like the idea, though, of having like two different. Oh, here's the most ironic part of it. If you watch the trailers, there's a whole thing about in the trailers of the special team of operatives, Skojo, Marshall Ali, that are really good at like getting people out of difficult places and stuff. And they have like a bunch of different types of guns and stuff. And they get on this decked out boat to go do this. They get there. It's a really good set piece, but they have this whole set piece of them getting beset by water-based dinosaurs. And while they're doing this, the guy who played the villain, one of their crew members, is the guy that played the villain in the first Deadpool. I think that might be Ed Skrein. Ed Skrein, I think is his name. But anyway, a whole bunch of them. They're using their fancy new guns on the dinosaurs. None of it works. Their guns are useless. And in fact, in this movie, these expert commandos or whatever they were called, expert people, they do the same thing everybody else does with the dinosaurs, run away. Their special skills are completely useless in this movie. They might as well be Jeff Goldblum and what's his face. It didn't matter. I found that the funniest irony, because you watch the trailer, you think, oh, these folks are experts, so the dinosaurs are going to really have, challenge, what kind of dinosaurs they're gonna, be able to. But nah, dinosaurs whoop on them. It doesn't help at all. They're running the whole movie just like everybody else. There's no help.
See, I don't think that works as main character. Maybe if they took one and make him a secondary character, it's kind of like Lost World, where the safari guy, I forgot his name, where he's not really afraid of the
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah,
T-Rex.
yeah.
That works as not as the main character, because if it's the main character, you don't really have a not afraid for him.
Yeah.
I think it has to be somebody who doesn't normally fight, or like a scientist. I mean, they had it right the first couple times, but not a
Yeah.
group of mercenaries that.
Yeah, and funny. Oh, here's a funny thing. So, as I said, there's like too many characters almost, but both Marshala Ali and Skojo have these sad stories of like they had previous teams that they lost, so they're both sad about it, and that's like their plot. So they're both there, they're trying to get a check, but they're like bummed because like things didn't go well for them with these previous missions. But they both have like the same subplot, I think. Like they both are bummed about like the same thing, but they were different teams. Like I think they worked together before, but they both had different teams. Let me see. Does this say that? Like they also tried to undo the ending of Dominion. So they said basically most of the dinosaurs have died that were away from a certain longitude. I'm sorry, latitude. Only a certain latitude. Most our modern environment for most dinosaurs is toxic. That just so they could write out most dinosaurs from the world. So there's only certain places in the world that dinosaurs can live. They wanted to shrink them back into one place. They wanted to put the genie back in the bottle. So they wrote this story about. Oh, they also said something ridiculous, which was nobody cared about seeing dinosaurs anymore, so they closed Jurassic Park or Jurassic World because nobody wanted to see them anymore. I'm like, are you kidding me? That doesn't make seriously. They said this in the movie. Nobody cares about dinosaurs anymore. It's old hat. Nobody cares.
I think they closed the park because a lot of people died.
Well, it exploded, I think, in the third one. But the reason why they're saying why there's no more Jurassic Parks, like why they kind of just let the parks just stay closed. They were saying basically nobody cares about that, like, which is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. People still care about going to see flamingos at the zoo. They're going to care about Tyrannosaurus Rexes and Velociraptors. And come on now, are we serious? Come on. So no, that was. I remember just hearing that. Man, that's ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing in this entire movie was. Oh, nobody cares about dinosaurs anymore. Like, come on. Yes, they do. Come on, because people still care about lions and bears and what are those little things they call them? They have a funny name for them. Those little things that dig holes and they pop their heads up, and they're called like rugrats or some weird name. There's a weird name for them.
Groundhogs.
Well, there's groundhogs, but they're smaller. But they have a funky name for them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, it's all kind of little random animals. They're basically rodents that people are all that you see. People go to the zoo to see. I take my daughter to see them at the zoo. Right? They're not going to care about dinosaurs. Come on, that's ridiculous. So, let me see. But yeah, there's some. Yeah, they both have. I can't remember the name, but they both have sad stories. I remember that being like, why these both these characters have the same plot? I don't understand.
Well,
the same backstory.
It doesn't have any bearing on the overall story. I mean,
But they're just trying to get you. They're trying to get you to save the cat with both of them. Like, this is why you should like them, because they care about their staff and they feel bad when their staff dies. Oh yeah, there's one scene where one of these mercenaries or experts, they just survived the dinosaurs mauling, attacking their ship, and they land. And I guess the way that was written in the script was they're on land, so they think, oh, the dinosaurs are sea creatures, so we're safe now. But apparently they were actually I won't say amphibious. What is it called? Amphibious. They're amphibious. And so one of these experts is like undoing their stuff with their back to the water. And they get gaffled up. And you see them in the background, like they're trying to make it like surprise you. But I'm watching the movie and I'm seeing them back there. I'm like, why are they concerned about dinosaurs? They're just sitting there like everything is cool now. Like, y'all just land. I'm thinking about land animals, like a velociraptor come running out the bushes or something. Like, they're just like, everything is cool. Like, y'all are in hostile territory. Now, of course, it ended up being the same kind of dinosaur. They can just walk on water, on ground. They're just amphibious. But I was thinking in general, it seemed like the person was awfully nonchalant when it's clear they're still in danger. One of those things where you're watching a movie and somebody's like not worried, and you're watching like, why aren't you worried? You seem like you're in danger right now. Why are you just smiling and are happy with yourself? That happened in one of the Hunger Game movies. There's somebody like it's in a dangerous spot, but they're just like chilling. You're like, you're about to get gaffled up. Don't you know that? But they have mental issues, though. So that kind of explanation. That character was not right there.
That was the best part of the movie to me.
What, in Hunger Games when people get gaffled up?
No, in Jurassic World. That was I don't know. I laugh at things I'm not supposed to laugh at.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they want you to do that because sometimes a movie will do it on purpose when somebody's like, their ambivalence or their lack of concern for their own safety or they're not respecting the danger is why they get got. And that's like the movie's like saying, hey, you had that coming because you weren't worried about the threat. Just like sometimes you had that coming because you were mean to somebody 15 minutes earlier in a different scene. That, again, you want us to either root for people in these type of movies or root against them. If we don't care about you one or the other, not great. And again, that Jurassic World had kind of the same problem, except for the scientists. I didn't really care about anybody else. Scojo's character, Marshall Lee's, most of the family folks, I guess, the family actually storyline was better. The family, what they go through and their general thing, that was the better half of the story, I thought, than the Commandos. Having said that, I don't think this is a bottom 5 movie. So here we go. So I think we've done all 10. Do you know which are your 5? So now we've kind of gone through all 10 of them here. What are your 5? Because it's actually kind of tough for me. As I said, I didn't hate a lot of movies this year. Only easy one for me is Captain America 4, which is just a disaster. And just even though it wasn't, I enjoyed a few moments of it. It's such a waste of opportunity. It needs to go. What were your 5? I think you have them written down. I don't. So I'm
bottom 5. I think we covered more. Tron Ares, Jurassic World, Rebirth, Captain America, Woman in the Yard, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay, all right. So I definitely with you with I Know What You Did Last Summer. We talked that through, and I'm with you on that now. I think too. I think also wasted opportunity too. Some idea like that, and kind of blow it. That's bad. Excuse me. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see. And I think actually, Death of Unicorn probably is better actually than I Know What You Did Last Summer. If I had to compare those two 1-to-1. Didn't see Tron Ares and the other two. I can't say those. I think I would go Mickey 17. It just did not work for me at all. So you didn't ultimately go with Superman though. It was just you wanted to nominate it, but you didn't go with it. Okay. Let's see here. I think Anaconda was pretty bad. What do you guess? So I got 3. I got Captain America, Anaconda, Know What You Did Last Summer. Ooh. Let's see. Ooh, those are the easy. Oh, Mickey 17, I think. And then it's between Jurassic World Rebirth, Death of a Unicorn, and Working Man. Wow, that's a tough 3 right there. That's a tough one. Which one has to go? I would probably say... Ooh, okay, so I'm going to eliminate Death of a Unicorn because it did have a really good third act. Just the horses mauling everybody, the unicorns mauling everybody. I think that saves that one. So it's between Working Man and... Jurassic World Rebirth. Ooh, that's a tough one. So you saw Working Man too, right?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? You said surprise, like, oh man, why'd you pick that? You haven't seen it, okay? I think I'm gonna go. Huh?
You said Working Man too?
No, Working Man. Working Man.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. So the way you reacted to it made me think you'd already seen it. Like, oh, why'd you say that? Like, it just made me think you were like defending it, but you were just reacting to it. Okay. Ooh, that's tough. Which one I write down first? When I was like trying to think about this, which one came to see? I think when I wrote it down, Death of a Unicorn actually popped. One of the first ones I popped in my head, but actually, I think that actually did have a good third act. So I think that kind of saves it. Where it's like a working man in Jurassic World. I'm like, what is there really to take away from those movies? Like, what do I think Jurassic World Rebirth had a couple decent set pieces. So I think I'm gonna go working man. I think I'll put that in the bottom 5 because that didn't really. There was one half decent thing, and no, there was one good. I think like 1 or 2 minute sequence in the third act that wasn't whatever, but I think it's not as good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. I think we got our list there. Now, I actually had a bunch more content, man. We actually closing in on 3 hours, so I think we're gonna wrap this up. I can do a different one. We can go through and we can do some more 2025 later, or I don't know. We can just briefly kind of just say for the third one, why don't we just worry about going through in detail? Let's just say for the movies we're looking forward to watching, the from 2025, what are your top 5 movies? I think that most of them you have them. Are you looking forward to watching in soon, kind of next few months from 2025?
Well, now that you were talking about, I think I want to see Warfare, Begonia.
Yeah, that's one of mine too.
See Predator, Badlands. What else? Let me get a list up here. Him.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I want to see Conjuring 4. I still gotta see the third one though. I didn't watch the third one yet.
Yeah, that's a whole series. I haven't seen any of those. Started watching the first one and I got interrupted and never went back to it.
I gotta watch the rest of Weapons. Actually, I look at Honey Don't. I want to have to look at that.
Oh yeah, that one's not even on my radar, man. To be honest.
The Phoenician Scheme.
Phoenician Schemes, yeah.
Phoenician Schemes. Yeah,
it's a weird word.
Yeah, probably The Amateur. And at Alto Nights, I haven't looked at it yet. Robert De Niro. You know, they said it was bad.
that was the 2025, wasn't it? I didn't realize that was that year. I thought that was earlier. I thought it was older. I'm kind of curious, but it seemed like super long, like crime movie. I don't know. I never saw the other one they did, the one before Alto Nights, the one that was on Netflix. That was kind of interesting.
The Irishman.
The Irishman, yeah, because like 3 hours long.
I don't think it was as bad as I said it was.
Okay, yeah, I think you did. You did say good stuff about it.
I thought it was good. Actually, I thought even though I like Al Pacino, I didn't buy him as Jimmy Hoffa though.
Oh, Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a little weird.
I don't think he was as good as Jack Nicholson though.
Yeah, I remember I liked Hoffa. I remember watching that like 30 years
Jack
ago.
Nicholson knocked out the park. But I read that.
Danny DeVito was weird. Like I wish he hadn't put himself in that movie. Danny DeVito and Hoffa. Like, why is he in this movie? He's Danny DeVito. Like, the movie's too serious. Like I didn't like that. I thought he was miscast. I remember even at the time when I was a kid, I thought it was miscast in the movie.
Well, actually, I think he didn't he direct it or
I think he did. I think he put himself in it.
I think he had some behind the scenes had to do with it. But because I think he was a composite character. I'm not sure the actual character actually existed. I think he was a composite of like 2 or 3 different characters.
Yeah.
But what else? I think September 5.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm on the fence about. I mean, kind of, but I'm not super pressed about it. I'm like, maybe I see it. I haven't heard a lot about it. Like it's kind of good. Like heard some good things, but one of those things that those movies are usually people like them. It's kind of movies critics tend to like. So I'm a little more skeptical about how good it really is. It's an interesting idea though, I guess. So I might check it out.
No, I got to watch the rest of Love Hurts. I started looking at that. I got interrupted.
Yeah, I like that one. Some people, it's funny. People point out the one thing they messed up with it, which you probably haven't seen this. I'm not sure you know this yet, but there's like a main like love thing between 2 characters, and they have no chemistry, and that's absolutely true. It doesn't really bother me that much. I think what I did or didn't like about the movie, it wasn't that. That was my problem. But that's something people pointed out that this movie, the two of the main characters didn't have any chemistry to be in love and all that stuff. I think that's fair, but that's not why how much that didn't affect how much I liked it. Maybe it did. I didn't realize, but to me, it was whatever I liked and like about it wasn't that. I enjoyed it generally. So
Mm.
Um, even though they show like too much of the third act in the trailers, but what do you do? Oh, another one. I don't know if you remember it. That movie Sisu, the action movie.
Yeah.
I want to see the. I haven't seen the first one yet, but I want to see both of them. They look really good.
Mm.
Like fun action movies. Let's see. Also, Begonia. I agree with you on that. I want to see Black Phone 2. It looks like it's just Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's cool. Like
I still got to see the first one.
yeah, the first one's more like the Sixth, not exactly, but it's more of like horror drama. Whereas the second one to me is more like, okay, we're just gonna make a slasher movie with the character. We just gonna make a slasher movie now. But that can work, but it's just different. It's not. I don't think it's the same kind of movie. There's this cool Netflix movie that's like a political intrigue called A House of Dynamite. That looked dope. Idris Elba's in it, and some other good actors that I'm really interested in.
Mm.
Is that one? There's also this weird movie called The Companion. It was produced by the dude that did Weapons and Barbarian, but he didn't direct it, so that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. But it looked interesting. The trailer looked kind of interesting, and it had the guy from Randy Quaid's son in it. Randy Quaid from Novocaine. Randy
Mm-hmm.
Quaid's son. He's a star of that movie Novocaine.
Yeah.
He's also in Companion. He's also like one of the leads in Companion.
Oh.
Have you seen Novocaine?
Nah.
You should check that out too. That's a good movie too. Other than man, 2025 was a good year for movies in general. It really was. And I'm also interested in A Long Walk or The Long Walk, that Stephen King based story of the folks have to walk until they die. And
Mm-hmm.
whoever's last person left wins. Like the lottery. It's like the lottery, but with death. Walking and then death. Yeah. So it's honestly it's not like the Hunger Games. It's a different same type of thing as the Hunger Games, but it's a lot more somber, obviously, than the Hunger Games. But the same idea, basically, a whole bunch of poor people, they make them walk and record them, and then whoever the last one left, they get the money. So people make connections and bonds and friendships, and they gotta like them root for each other, but they know only one of them can live. So it's weird,
Sounds like Squid Game.
Yeah, it's kind of like Squid Games, exactly. Kind of like same base, hidden. What do you call it? Hunger Games, Squid Games, and The Long Walk are all the same basic type of thing. It's post-apocalyptic, like in-game capitalism, where the point where people get so poor and desperate they're killing each other for money. That's the gist of it, or risking their lives for money. That's the thing. Oh, and there's a movie came out early last year with Woody Harrelson called The Last Breath, and I think the actor from Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings or something. I think that he might have been in it too. But it's this drama about these divers, and they go down, and one of them is like the fiance of like their daughter, and they have to go rescue him, and he's running out of oxygen and stuff at the bottom of like this canyon or something. It looked kind of dope. I just never got around to watching it.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll let you know, man. Because it's kind of went really fast.
Mm-hmm.
It was at one point on Peacock, but I don't know where it is now. I gotta try to find it. But all right, man, it's getting late. You want to give an update? Anything else you want to tell the good folks about before we close out?
I'm trying to start my cold popcorn.
What do you mean, the YouTube channel? Which thing? You already have the Instagram and the Facebook.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
hopefully I'll be getting that up pretty soon. I know I've been talking about it for months, but
yeah, I know you got work, man. I know it's
getting distracted.
There's so much stuff going on, man. It's hard to find time for everything. But yeah, man, just gotta like get in there and just get some like talking points and just record yourself, man. Just practice. That's all you can do. See how it goes. Let's see. I mean, one thing I think that helps, at least with YouTube, is probably certain genres. Like I know a lot of the people I've seen the most successful, they focus on one thing. Like the guy I've seen as an individual reviewer, the two I've seen, one is like superhero stuff. I think it's Sean Loves Movies. I think his is more superheroes and such like that. And then there's a guy, Cody something. He does horror. That's his focus. And so focusing on, at least in terms of YouTube, in terms of genres, I think seems to help. I don't know. As I said, I wasn't really able to crack it, but you also just have to like do a ton of it though, because you have to basically, build an audience, from nothing. So it's just, it's tough. But I think it helps to figure out an audience that you can speak to, that'll be looking, and say, oh, I like them talking about this. Yeah, he's talking about that. If it's just all movies, I think that's tougher to do because people like something I think is a little more focused than that. Ideally, I don't know, but it's tough. I just also different formats. So one thing about this is, if you're doing long form streaming and short form, oftentimes don't interact well. I've tried doing all three of them, and I think that hurts. That can hurt the channel. I think that if your channel is essays or if it's also with length, I think it's like you want to kind of have something dependable. Everybody, oh, they're the same every time they do stuff. It's the same every time, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm just bloviating at this point. Anyway, me, nothing else in particular. Just enjoying movies and working, doing my thing. So for Lawrence and for myself, thank you everybody for watching it. We had a fair amount of viewers kind of come and go. Look at the little number in the corner there. That was great. Appreciate all of you all coming through. And have a good evening. I feel like I pressed the button. Oh, there you go.